Hello. Welcome to day 2 of E3 Big Think Dimension Live. How's it going, Bob?
You know, it's okay. It's E3. It's exciting. It's hype.
KZ Excellent, you doing all right?
I am glowing.
And Mr. Feel, how are you?
I'm alive, which I couldn't say after yesterday's festivities.
Yeah, Hail Xeon turned into a skeleton. We still haven't figured out if that had to do with Bethesda or him having to like a new Dragon Ball game that wasn't Fighters. Oh, well.
The latter seems more sane.
It seems more likely.
Yeah.
We got rankings already showing up as super chats. The super chat rules and donation rules for this time is we have made a special GIF and special sound notification for the stream. If you donate $10, you get that. If you donate $40, you get text to speech, because we don't want to slow down. We don't want to slow this down too much.
Right.
We've got a lot to cover and very little time to do it.
I feel like we really need to brace through these first couple of
We're gonna fucking die. That is accurate. Because what I've been able to gather from Twitter and other things is that members of this podcast may disagree on some things. We might get into some gamer debate.
Gamer debate?
Yes.
Is there a new
okay.
podcast?
It's okay. We don't have to talk about Halo this time.
At least there's that. But we could talk about it. No, we shouldn't.
Master Chief Raw.
Yeah, the Master Chief
Only
Collection's
an
pretty
Infinite,
raw. Yeah. It came out undercooked. What?
It's
It
true.
It's true.
Did it take him 4 years to fix that?
Fix that.
Fix that? The online's still kind of broken, but everything else is mostly fine. But as it turns out, me and Bob and Dr. Aggro, who of course isn't here because he wants to, live.
Coward.
Right? We were all here for the VR conference, which was the first conference of the day. For those who don't know, it was a VR-centered conference from no major party. It just seemed to be arranged by some VR dude.
Right. It was like VR. Oh, man, I should have written it down.
Yes.
On VR or something.
In any case, it was just a focus on a bunch of VR games, and I'm just going to brutally summarize the quality you could expect from this. Half of the fucking developer videos were recorded using the on-camera mic in giant echoey rooms, so you cannot hear them under their own game trailer's fucking music. It is a nightmare. It is a fucking nightmare. They showed, what was it? They showed the gameplay trailer for the same game twice.
Yes, but once... No, I guess that one was it was a sequel at the end of the conference, and the regular version was getting ported to PSVR.
Okay.
That was a little bit more
But
sane.
they were thrown at the opposite end of
yes,
the
so
conference.
and they looked almost identical.
They did look almost identical. What's the dude's name?
Upload VR.
Upload VR, who's a VR YouTuber. He set this up, and lots of VR games it was covering, from PlayStation VR to Oculus Quest and Vive.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I want to go on an adventure.
Literally everything. Hey Bob,
Hey,
this is us at our most cruel.
Oh, no.
What do you even want to talk about?
I thought it was funny that there was a game called Meat Fortress. It was Team Fortress, but it was hot dogs instead
I
of...
wasn't there for
you,
that,
you
was
weren't
I?
for the
I'm
that. You missed
upset.
it.
Excited.
I'm upset.
It was insane. I was like, why? How? He said it was permission from Valve, and then it's just hot dog going around in Team Fortress outfits, doing the full Team Fortress match.
I mean, that's funny as shit. I'm
Yeah.
upset that I missed it. I was running a little late. God damn it.
He said the coolest guy in video games, Greg Miller, and then
in Smash cut to Greg Miller, and he's like, "Hello, I'm here too." And I'm like, "Can't I get a second without you?" It was
Greg
terrible.
Miller is iconic.
Arizona Sunshine showed up twice. That's the one that did legitimately show up twice. It's the same game.
Yeah, Arizona Sunshine seemed to be some zombie shooter game.
I think it's already out.
Yeah. I think the highlights were, the highlight was the idea that they had a VR boat game, so you could attack
Yeah,
other
that was
pirate
neat.
ships with your cannons and stuff. But the trailer I described, where it was the on-camera mic and you couldn't hear the dude through the fucking gameplay trailer, that was literally the one. So weirdly enough, that same game is shown off at a later thing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny.
It was the kind of funny games thing, and it's shown off in a way better condition. So we'll talk about it then, I feel.
We got a new trailer for Golem, which is that game made by some former Bungie employees.
Yeah, there's a little spin-off studio from Bungie. Marty O'Donnell works there, and they've been working on a VR game called Golem for years now, at least 2.
Yeah, for PSVR.
Yeah, and it looks incredible. Like, it looks really great. They have a great art direction. It has interesting ideas in the way they think about making you control your character, because the idea is that you are the character who can possess the golem, and your eyes glow insanely blue, and you've got the whole, like, ribbon over your eyes sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be blind outside of that.
Supposed to be blind, possibly, but it's a really fascinating game, and I want to see more of it.
There's a new VR game from the guys at Ready at Dawn, the guys who made
The Order
1883.
And that good God of War game on the PSP.
Yeah, it's called Echo Arena. It's for the
There
Quest.
were 2 God of War games on the PSP, and they were both made by them. So those guys. Anyways, Ready at Dawn. What?
It's called Echo Arena. It's for the Oculus Quest, I guess. Yeah. So hopefully that's okay. I don't want them to be a completely dead studio. Oh god, it ended on Pistol Whip, which is this.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
All right, help me.
You need to understand, if there's a part of this conference for you to go back and see to understand how unreal it was. Like, you know, E3. E3 used to be a live stage, and they would come up and try to do a live demo, and shit would break.
Yeah.
Now imagine the spirit of that instilled in a pre-recorded and edited video. Somehow, so many decisions have gone wrong. So many things have gone off the fucking hook that it has the feeling of a technical disaster live in a pre-compiled video. So what this game is it's trying to be a stylish shooter game where your character is represented on, or, you know, you're doing it in first-person VR, and you're shooting to the rhythm that is the level. You know, it's music and it's a shooting game. They show it for like 1 second normally. And then, I shit you not, in the most fucking hilarious shit, because it's very stylized, very artistic. They keep green screen editing a dude onto it just being like this. And it's just cutting between the stone-faced developer who's like, yeah, our game's a rhythm-based shooter game. It's really cool. And then this jackass just doing the dumbest fucking, gun kata's dope as shit. Edited so poorly onto this footage.
He's wearing like a John Wick outfit too.
It's so bad. It's so
Equilibrium.
bad. It's that movie's raw, and Casey should have to watch it.
Then we should definitely watch that for cursed content. It'd be a great episode.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
They banned books.
Yes,
They should get shot.
What?
Yeah.
What about Goosebumps?
Goosebumps
Definitely
2?
banned.
Too intellectual. It causes emotion, so it had to be banned. And that's it
Getting
for
a gun.
VR, right? Is there anything
There-
major Wasn't there a cool farming game?
Yeah, there's a Garden of the Sea, which looks like it's super early access. Like, they don't feel like it's done at all, but they want people to kind of tell them what they want in the game.
They literally used the phrase way too early access, and I was like, oh, cool, you're using Devolver Digital's early access program. That's great.
Ruh-roh.
It looks cool. It takes place on this island. You can till the land and stuff. Lots of cute animals to interact with. Seemed great. I think making a VR Harvest Moon-esque game would be neat.
And there was something else made by, or where you play as a stealth robot and you have to sneak into this. It's something. I was writing this up really fast. It's something one VR operative.
Oh, cool.
Espire, I think.
E-Spotter? I don't know. I got nothing. Handwriting, real rough.
Yeah, no. When I have to go through this many things, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, even the VR conference went through a lot of stuff, you know.
Okay, yeah, it's Espire 1. Or Esper. It's
Aspire.
Aspire. Yeah, so.
But yeah.
All right. So I feel like we'll move on.
By the way, no word should probably be pronounced E blank unless there's a hyphen after the E.
I know, but look. All right, I guess we should rate this.
We should rate
What about
this?
EP?
Yeah.
This doesn't even even fucking real.
It was real though. We watched it.
They didn't.
I'll give it a B.
Look, guys, you guys just rate
I didn't
not
have-
seeing it.
I didn't have to watch it, so fucking whatever. It gets an A.
I hate you both so much. I'm gonna give it a D minus for games because there were so many zombie shooting games.
There were
There were so
many.
I can't. They had a Walking Dead game there that was so fucking rough.
Oh my
It's
god!
like, how did you get the go ahead to show this? Like, it would be like zombie walks up slowly. They would use one hand to grab its neck. The zombie would just sit there and get owned. And then he grabs a knife and shoves it in the zombie's head. The moment the knife enters the zombie's head, his face disappears for some frames and then comes back. And then it does a blood effect. And it kept doing it over and over and over and over and over.
My favorite part of that was later.
So, was that the VR Walking Dead thing?
Yes,
'Cause
that's the one that couldn't show up in Kind of Funny
Yes,
games.
that's what I was gonna bring
about
up.
to say, that was one of my favorite parts of that presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, that was mine too. I laughed.
This game. They also. I didn't know they had a VR thing based on the Angry Birds the movie 2. There was a VR game based on that movie.
That checks out.
Yeah. But I would rate it like a D for
Well,
presentation.
I just
I'm
finished
sorry.
with the games.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I gave
Go
the
for it.
games a D minus. The presentation's probably an F minus. There were many of these developer interview things that they didn't even buy a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, all you need to have passable audio for an interview is $70 and a smartphone. That's it. It's a simple little mic. You clip it right there. You talk into it. You're good. But none of them used mics. Like 80% of the videos didn't even have a microphone, which is nightmarishly difficult to understand what they're saying over gameplay footage if it's an on-camera mic. Many of the shots weren't even graded, so they all look gray and desaturated.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't show people at all and just had a dude mumble over a trailer for 8 seconds. And then it cuts back to YouTuber Man to hype it up.
Yeah.
The YouTuber Man is insufferable.
He's really bad.
He's like sitting there caressing his PlayStation VR. He's like, and then it holds on that joke for like 6 seconds.
Yeah. It's really bad.
And then, yeah, so F minus, F minus.
I would give it an
barrel.
F minus if Bethesda hadn't come out yesterday and showed that they can show people or literal actors there to make you feel bad about not liking their video games.
To be fair, though,
They're going to create VR for first-person shooters and streaming.
mm-hmm. To be fair, though, Bethesda bought microphones. Imagine they guilt-tripped you with ungraded footage and no microphones.
Right.
That would be quantifiably worse.
It would.
This was, I wanted out before it ended, and it wasn't even that long. Because
It was like an hour.
That dude had such little time to fill, YouTuber Man.
Yeah.
And he went with the, I'm going to molest my VR headset
Yeah, no.
as a joke.
The best part is it doesn't even open on him. The thing just opens on a
So
random
eventually
trailer.
he shows up, and then eventually Greg Miller's like, hello, I found my way into this conference too.
You can't escape me.
Raw.
Yeah.
So yeah, F minus.
Okay.
F minus. Bob, you go ahead with your ratings.
I'm going to give it a D for games. D minus, I guess, because I don't feel like I'd play any of them, but maybe one.
Yeah.
And there's a ton. There's an absolute amazing
There's a
amount of
buttload.
games.
Bob has a page and a third.
Yeah.
One of the
A
third
ton
pages.
Ton of games. Almost nothing I want to
I
play.
mean, Harvest Moon. The Harvest Moon thing.
Yeah, the Garden of the Sea.
Yeah.
All
That's
I
it.
want to play is the
I mean,
Aspire.
I probably would have played Pistol Whip. I still think that video for it was a nightmare.
Yeah, and then presentation, I'm going to give it a D minus because it's not literally gross. It's just horribly made.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't rate as badly as for me.
Bob, if you let Bethesda and how gross they are affect your rating for every E3 conference for the rest of time, you let them
that's
win.
that's for this conference.
Okay,
This
so
is
next year you
next
get
year is
to-
a clean slate. They'll be able to set a new bar.
Just because Bethesda comes out here and sets the curb at it didn't commit a war crime.
Yeah.
Hey, there's logic to this.
All right,
That's
PC
exactly how I'm grading these.
PC
Yeah,
gaming
that's also
time.
mine.
Who did watch the PC gaming show? I forgot.
Everyone, right?
I saw like 20 minutes and then I was forced away from screens. I did my best, but you're gonna have to pilot this one too.
Cool, great. Lots of me and Bob talking. Hope you people like that. Bob, tell them about the PC conference.
PC conference has 9 somebody. Who is he?
Day 9.
Day 9.
Edward
He's a
Nigma,
StarCraft
got it.
guy.
Edward Nigma.
He's a StarCraft man.
That makes
okay.
sense.
And then an insufferable co-host. Who I
Look,
think we
Bob.
started to refer to as female Carrot Top.
We did that last year too. Halfway through the PC gaming show last year, we realized it looked like female Carrot Top. And last year, like, we realized this as a group, and I go, she isn't ripped enough. Same fucking thing happens halfway through this year. Dr. Agro's like, she's like a female Carrot Top. And I'm like, but she's not ripped enough. And then I remember last year, and I'm like, Agro, we're stuck in a time loop.
Oh no!
That's
Cruel.
12 minutes.
And then she wore a shark suit.
Yeah, she wore a shark outfit and it was miserable. And she had like a
She
big
was like,
gun.
I need to take a bite out of this game
Oh.
right after I take a nibble off stage because I'm actually hungry. And then she walked off the stage.
We saw Evil Geniuses 2. Or sorry, Evil Genius 2.
Is it singular?
Yes. I believe that's
Because there are 4 fucking
I know
evil
they
geniuses.
show multiple. That's why I was confused. But I wrote down just Evil Genius, and I think that is the actual name of the game.
Okay. I haven't
Yes.
played the first one.
I was there for that at least.
It looked neat, but I wasn't able to elicit a lot from the trailer that was shown.
Right. It was the first one a mobile game or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about this game to really say
This
much.
one's on Steam, though, right?
Yes.
Yes, Soul Umbreon
Or
will
on
discuss.
PC.
We'll discuss the AMD conference.
Yes. That's after this.
Somehow that actually had something to talk about, but it only presented itself literally halfway through. The first half of it, I'm like, these slides
Evil
were.
Genius is a normal PC game. It's just really old. So this is like a weird out of nowhere sequel. Although I think there was a bad mobile version everybody complained about previously.
Gotcha. Thank you, Phil.
I was like, the first half of the AMD conference, I'm like, these slides were great 2 weeks ago when they came out. It was bad.
Then we moved on to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It's out in
Ooh.
2020 quarter 1. We saw no
Quarter
gameplay,
one's looking stacked.
right?
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. The gameplay of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines doesn't matter. All that matters is the dialogue. Can I talk to a stop sign? That's what's important.
We don't know yet. We still don't know.
If only we knew.
Starmancer. I don't even remember what this one was. These things were loaded with games.
Yeah.
I did not have time to write down what they were for a lot of it.
Let me look over above. Chivalry 2.
Yeah, Chivalry 2.
It's a game.
Chivalry
It's like you're a sword and you're a knight running to other group of people with a sword.
Yeah.
What if they
it's
made
a first person
like a
melee.
multiplayer shooter, but you had swords and shields?
It's basically explicitly multiplayer version of Mountain Blade, if you ever played that.
Retroactively, I'm going to raise my grade on the games of the PC, on the VR conference from D- to D.
Uh-huh.
That stealth game in the castle actually did look kind of neat.
Oh, I forgot about. Was that during that, or was
Yeah,
that during this?
it was a thief's something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
These
These two conferences blur to.
Yeah.
They blur it so much, man.
Yeah, no, it was really good, though.
Yeah, that was the weird one made by like some Korean studio, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that game looked incredible. Anyway, so Chivalry is a known quantity. Mosaic, didn't that come up some other day, or did it just come up twice today?
I think it came up twice today. I don't remember what it was, though.
It was a long day. So Mosaic, oh wow. Mosaic is a bleak game with 3D graphics.
Oh, it's that one, yeah.
Where the women walking next to you clip through walls in the first 3 seconds of this game trailer.
That came up yesterday and today, yeah.
Okay, so it came up yesterday. They had a mildly different trailer today, but that game's
Less
just
Butterfly.
about... yeah, yesterday's trailer has you walking along the street, and you can walk to the left instead of the right like everyone else is going, be renegade, and then you get to look at the sun's set. I think it's setting. but then there's nothing else to do, so you have to walk along with the crowd, and it's deep, man. And after walking along for a while and someone almost hitting you with their car, the camera then changes to focus on a butterfly. And then the butterfly flies through this construction equipment. So that's yesterday's trailer for Mosaic. Today, they're like, look at the main character just used this mobile app to play his idle game. What a tool. And then the signs around him are DMC Devil May Crap levels of constrained when it comes to commentary.
Yeah.
Where it's just beating over their head.
Symbolic.
Corporation
bad.
Corporation bad. You're losing yourself in the crowd. Like, they literally say this everywhere. And as it zooms out,
delicious.
your idle game dude is just doing that. And then they announce, hey, here's our game. It's like this. Remember it from yesterday? Anyway, that idle game is real. Go download it. And Dr. Aggro looks at me and he's like, I'm really glad Eric wasn't here to get shit on by E3. And then we check trailer and he's like, I see you shitting on me, E3.
I see you, bitch.
And it's
Eric
like,
only likes idle games because he doesn't have to move while he plays them.
Eric is a wonderful individual.
both of these statements can be true.
Oh. You would know.
But then we got to the good stuff. Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Midnight Ghost Hunt was dope.
It's based on Prop Hunt, which is the Gary's mod game, I
Yeah,
guess.
for those who don't know Prop Hunt, you need to find the person who's possessed a random prop lying around, and it's a multiplayer game. So you find them, and then you need to capture them or whatever. This is just, we've escalated that to be a much more visual thing, a much more, like,
Yeah, the props can
fleshed
actually
out game.
attack you, which
and you're a ghost, so you can possess shit like armor, like knight's armor and shit, and it looks
Show
really
chairs.
cool. So and you like use a soul vacuum, kind of like Ghostbusters, to just fucking like chop shit up and try to contain the ghost. It looks like a great game.
right? The whole idea is the ghost hunters are trying to get them before midnight, because at midnight becomes the like hour of the ghosts, and then all the ghosts get super powerful, and they have to, or the ghost hunters, if they let them get to that phase, have to try and survive for like 4 minutes. But the ghosts are so OP, they probably won't.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. That looked like a good game. What else do we have?
Unexplored 2. Do you remember this?
Yeah, of course I do. It's the
All right, moving on. Samsung RG5 gaming monitor.
I'm gonna be honest, I was busy in the middle of this. I was tech supporting
Right.
for someone. That was an ad for a monitor?
Yes, it was an ad for a monitor.
Okay. I just know at some point it kept yelling. It showed PUBG, right? Correct me if I'm wrong at any point. It showed PUBG, and it was like 240 hertz, and it's like 60 hertz bullet. Look at how few bullets there are. 120 hertz bullets, twice as many. 240 fucking hertz of bullets! And it was just a stream. And I'm like, this is a fucking idiotic way to explain frame rate.
Right.
And then it's like, curved, and I'm like, the bullet's curved? What the fuck am I looking at? And then like I don't know, 15 seconds later they finally show an above view on a screen that's curved, and I'm like, is this a fucking monitor ad? Whatever, I got other shit going on. So it was a monitor ad.
It was a monitor ad in the middle of the C3 conference.
Yeah.
Then Funcom came out and had a ton of games.
Where did they look fun?
So we saw Mutant Year Zero, Seed of Evil, which I guess is an expansion pack for Mutant Year Zero. Conan Unconquered, which was an RTS, which a Conan RTS is neat. I'm down for that.
Yes, Fox, you'll be pleased to know that Dr. Aggro laughed at your tweet and then showed it to me. And then I too laughed at your tweet. And then Xeon laughed at your tweet. That's what happened. I don't know what that is, Crummy Curmudgeon. Please help me.
It wasn't enough to trigger it, so
I don't think it was enough to trigger it. Anyways, Bob.
We had Moons of Madness.
So that's that Cthulhu shit.
Is it? Wasn't it another one of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. It
I don't
takes place on
remember.
the fucking moon, but it's supposed to be upon on the mountains of madness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was $1.44. Thank you very much for $1.44, Crummy Curmudgeon. Earning your name of Curmudgeon.
Conan Chop Chop.
Conan Chop Chop may have been the highlight because it was like, this Conan game, give a shit. And I'm like, meh. And then it's like, Conan Chop Chop, look at this dumb game. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I would actually play that Conan game.
it's like
A
some
sentence
sort
I don't believe I've said before.
I'd play that RTS one.
Yeah?
I'd give that a shot.
Yeah.
Conan Chop Chop is like a top-down hack and slash style game, kind of like Diablo.
Yeah.
But with a much more
it's
like
just a hack and slash top-down view. Simplified 3D graphics to be kind of funny.
right.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be a roguelite.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
think I
be
had some
surprised.
text that reflected that. Arn Grimm says, it's a game, all right. Hyphen out Kotaku. Yeah, the text they popped up with during that trailer was awful.
All of the tech they popped up, because this was a game revealed at April Fool's.
There was a
It was
phrase
awful.
in there, though, we made fun of, where it was something along the lines of, yeah, it's probably better than what you're doing right now. And we were like, fuck you, you don't know me.
It was.
Then
There was
Dr.
one
Aggro was
later.
like, no, they're right. That's better than this. Me sitting here watching this conference. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, another thing like that came up later in the conference, and it was just. It's
It's
probably
dumb.
better than what you can find. It was like,
Yeah, it's probably better than you can find. And it was like,
I'm
fuck you,
offended, right?
What? Who the fuck are you?
Last Oasis. I don't remember this one. Oh well.
I'm only vaguely remembering it, so we're gonna pass.
Age of Wonders Planetfall.
Wonders.
I definitely did
Yeah, I
not
don't-
see this.
Zombie Army 4. That's a Sniper Elite expansion basically, where it's all about fighting zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, zombies.
It has Hitler though, so that's something.
Oh yeah, it's Zombie Hitler, and he appears over the horizon into transparency and cackled, and I was like, all right.
Yep.
Hello.
Epic.
It was pretty epic.
Is it exclusive to the Epic Game Store?
No,
Who knows?
a lot of the games here were.
Yeah, a lot of these potentially were. They just didn't talk about it.
It's almost like Epic really didn't imagine how fast this fucking thing would turn on them.
Remnants from the Ashes, which is a new game from Gunfire Games, the guys who make the Darksiders games now.
I made fun of them because their name was the second shittiest studio name at the show. Gunfire Games, only slightly better than Resolution Games.
This game looked kind of neat.
I guess it was Resolution Studios. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, it was like as long as I remember the right one, because God, everything's becoming a blur. It was
Well,
like a third-person
it doesn't-
shooter / hack and slash.
It doesn't help when there were so
It's
many
a,
Nazi zombie games or just zombie games.
It's I'm pretty sure it's like a Destiny-esque shooter.
Yeah, it's probably another
Melee.
Destiny.
Rudy Tooty Loot and Shooty.
Because the official description, I think, is a survival action shooter with Soulsborne influences to fit your busy life, which means play it forever.
Okay.
Deep breath. Mind your blood pressure.
Okay. We can get through this E3. We'll make it. Then Clay, the guys who made
Chug.
Shank, had a new
Yeah.
card game.
Oh,
I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. This strained
I
me.
do. So you walk into a bar, and the first thing they show is they go and try to have conversation with this person at the bar to convince them to side with them, and they fail it by pulling bad cards, and then they get murdered. So then they walk into this bar, and they decide to talk to the people in the back, and they're not going to side with them either. So they battle them using cards, and that doesn't work out. So then they walk into this bar, and then they have another conversation with another person using card system, and it works out. And you get a bunch of people to, we always remember them for Shank. It was one of the
It was the
early
first-
quick
it was their
plays
first
with,
game,
for
yeah.
Gigaboots. Anyways,
this is Griftlands. I remember what this is.
so yeah. And this just seems to be the whole thing. You battle and have conversations via the cards.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I was okay with it. Bob hated it because it was card based, and Dr. Aggro loved it extra much because it was card based.
What a criminal.
Planet
Cards
Zoo
are raw.
was shown off next.
What was?
Planet Zoo. which is a zoo simulator.
I'm gonna go ahead. My job here isn't necessarily to remember the games; it's to remember the comments in the rooms when the games were on screen. So, Planet Zoo, the comment went, shows a bunch of animals and they look pretty nice. Then it shows a person, and Bob's like, "Oh, the people look terrible. Why do they look so bad? Like they stylized them to cover it up." And I'm like, "Because they're not the important animals." People are dumb. We're here for the monkey that looks amazing.
So yeah, I'm cool with simulator games. And
Yeah.
zoo simulators should be cool.
I've never tried it, but I would be.
I mean, this is a new one.
I've just never tried any zoo
Oh
simulator.
no, Zoo Tycoon. Okay.
Never, ever, never. Like I've always done like Roller Coaster Tycoons, Theme Hospital, stuff like that. Did that Theme Hospital game ever come out? I imagine we've got another year on that, maybe 2.
The next one up is Shenmue 3.
So
My
it's really
phone's
great
going off.
how-
I have
Mine
to
too.
go.
I
Oh,
should not be.
jeez. Good luck.
Oh no, that actually
Hey,
left.
everybody, I am an honest, great individual. I'd like to talk to you all about Shenmue 3.
Okay.
Now, if you're not aware, Shenmue is a series by Yu Suzuki. It was a very innovative title. It was going to have like 18,000 games, and now it's having 3. The third one is set to release in November. Everyone's excited. They kickstarted it back in 2015, and now, well, if you wanted it on PC, it has now been sealed by Epic Games to the Epic Games Store.
And a
And
move
I'm
that's
sure-
probably illegal.
I'm sure if we go to the Kickstarter comment section, that only kind words and excitement will be there.
So I want to pop off about a couple things.
Sure.
Okay,
Go
cool.
ahead, Feel.
Firstly, this is the single most successful game Kickstarter in history. Fuck you.
Wasn't it trumped by Bloodstained?
Nope.
Okay.
Over 6 million.
Bloodstained is older in development
Oh.
than Shenmue 3.
Okay, yeah, it came out. It was out the week or a few weeks before.
A month.
Okay, a month before.
2,
Yep.
I took the backer survey. It didn't say PC. It said Steam. And when I went to change it today, it still said Steam.
Yeah, the backer survey said Steam. Yep. They really screwed up on this.
3,
Also,
fuck Deep Silver. This is entirely Deep Silver's fault. They corrode
Yep.
everything they touch.
Didn't they do that recently? Like, isn't this the second time Deep Silver just sold the game off to Epic?
Yeah, I think they did it to Metro Exodus.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Deep Silver's
okay.
awesome. Metro. Man, they're really screwing up.
Ooh.
Who is publishing? Yeah, well, they got
Can't imagine
505
how
or something
the
for
developers of this feel right now.
Okay. I wanted to mention that this game also looks insanely rough. Like what they showed
Yeah.
does not look like a game that's only a few months away. It's really worrying.
It's looking better than it did the last time I saw it, but it's still, it still clearly needs more time.
We should talk about this.
What it needs is more money, and they don't have it.
We should talk about this in a way that makes it clear. It doesn't look like a game that's only a few months away from release, and it doesn't look like a game where optimization is going to help it.
Right.
It looks like the game is like 2/3 done or half done, quality of productions wise.
It looks like they ran out of money, and this probably happened so they could get more money, and it still wasn't enough money.
And I'm really worried that the game will have the disconnect that the trailer did of them being like, that gang is always messing things up. They're always out here doing this and doing that. And it's just ruining everything. And then they just show 2 kids. They show 2 guys. And that's it.
Look, in this small rural village in China, they just can't get police officers.
A
It's just
gang of
these
2 guys.
Gang of 2 guys can run the place. It's only a town of 20 people.
Has an arcade, though. That was in the background of one of the shots, a rural Chinese arcade. So you can play... Well, you probably can't play Outrun anymore because Sega isn't involved. So who the fuck knows what you're going to be playing?
Great question. This is a nightmare, Vox, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry, but I'm sorry.
I feel
I will
like
say I'm sorry to Vox. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
I'm sorry that the game that she is very much looking forward to, from a series that she's waited 18 million years to finally get its third entry, is going to be known for this controversy on top of, the people that already think the game doesn't look very good.
I mean, the Kickstarter was poorly run from day one. We had people coming out saying we could have run this Kickstarter so many times better, we would have made literally double, at least. It was announced at E3.
Vox, I am sorry that things will happen that make you sad. Vox,
Yes.
Vox, you backed Shenmue 3.
I'm very sorry about Shenmue 3, but Shenmue walked so Yakuza could fly.
Okay, look, this is bad enough when I vaguely imply that maybe this was seen coming because it was Shenmue 3, but you being like, it's okay that your loved one's dead, mine's doing great.
I do not condone or support the statements of Mr. Feel at twitter.com/Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
Look, I fully agree with Feel, but it's still not nice to say, and I wouldn't say it.
We should move.
Yes, let's move on.
Let us move on.
Songs of Conquest. This one's due out late 2020. It seems to be God. It was super hard to figure out exactly what this game was, because they showed an overworld style looking map with all 2D pixel art graphics. They said it was going to be music based and build armies and it'd be turn based. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing two games together here.
Matista with $9.99 super chat says, "Feel was right. Watch Dogs 3 is Driver San Francisco." Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, but
we'll get to that.
We don't even have the Ubisoft conference yet.
This 6-hour show has a lot left.
Yes. So let's move on. Vermintide 2 has a new versus mode.
Yeah, where you play as the vermin.
Yeah, it's like the humans versus the vermin. It's pretty cool looking.
You always play as the Tide, so this is pretty fun.
They really took the concept and flipped it on its head. They might as well call this one Tide Vermin.
I never played it because I didn't have friends who played games, but now I do, so maybe I'll play this.
My brother showed me Vermintide while I was hanging out at his place. Honestly, it seemed pretty great. Yes, Matista, this will stay up as a recording of the stream, and it will also be uploaded as audio. What's up, Bob?
Per Aspera is the next one.
What? Can I see the name? Hopefully I can read it.
Hopefully you can read it. I'm bringing it up.
Per Asper?
I think it's supposed to there's an A at the end, so I would assume Aspera.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
I'm trying to remember.
I can't
this.
remember
Let me
it.
just look at it for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, too.
I don't remember this at all. I must have not even been in the room.
I
don't know. Even I'm having trouble.
Nothing.
Like
Arn Grimm in chat, as per my last Aspera.
see, Auto Chess is getting its own separate game.
Yep, that was already known. That was concluded between that Chinese company and Steam some time ago. I think 3 weeks.
Okay, so
And
very
also-
recently.
Yeah, recently,
Yes.
but not even this month.
Right.
Right.
Also today, League of Legends came out and was like, "We're doing it too.
Oh, stop.
We will also have this game mode."
This is one of those game modes that it's so weird. It shouldn't be in every single thing.
We're talking about Dota Auto Chess. Yeah, Dota Auto Chess is a fucking weird thing, and it's cool how huge it is, but it's a very weird thing. I don't think League needs its own. Comes off as desperate. Bob, what's next?
Chris Tales.
Looks fantastic.
It does look really cool.
Chris Tales looks really cool. That was the 3 timelines that you interact with. The 3 times you can travel between. You can learn from the past and influence the future by taking actions in the present. They showed different coloration to show which of the 3 you were looking at any given time. You got to see the city evolve. It had a beautiful 2D art style, right?
Yeah.
And you could interact with people based on things you learned by looking into the past. to change the future, and you get to see like people age, architecture change, it affect the city. Interesting.
Demo out
really
today.
Cool. Huh?
Demo out today.
Yeah. I should be doing that instead of this. I don't know if I can.
Right? Whatever.
I saw a little bit of footage, and that looks really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
It looks really good, and the Steam page does it a terrible disservice with its terrible takes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Just reviews, I take it.
No, let me find the exact one. A love letter to classic JRPGs, inspired by timeless JRPGs like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Valkyria Profile, and modern classics like Bravely Default and Persona 5.
I mean, that seems like the same kind of.
It's inspired by those.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems inspired by those. I just think people are going like, I hate games that try to do that.
Well, yeah, because it's always a red flag, and this time it appears to not be, so they shouldn't have done it.
Well, it's a description.
Right, it's a description still. I feel
I don't
like
know, man. Fucking Freedom Planet's like, inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, it's good.
Inspired by Earthbound, and then I
It's-
turned to stone.
Inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog and this weird fucking fanfic I wrote where Tails gets tortured.
Ooh.
It's hot.
Casey, you fucking cut that out.
Are you trying to tell me the Freedom Planet might be Kino? Oh no.
The stop recording button is right there. I will take the stream and I will pull it over.
I always get scared when you take off the mic thing, and I feel like you're gonna hit me.
Okay, back to Winnipeg.
Don't do it. I'm gonna
Man.
come.
Dan just turns the stream around.
Yep.
Valfarians. You remember this?
Valfaris.
Valfaris?
Yep. Valfaris, is it an F first or a V? Because I
V.
can't find. Okay, it's a V.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valfaris. I know
Okay.
because that was my other highlight of this conference. Here's the problem though.
What's up?
I don't fucking remember it. You?
No. I
I literally listed it. I literally listed it as like I would love these two games. I would love to play them. But this one I can't remember. To be honest, the other one I can
Like
remember.
these. The problem. Oh, it's that heavy metal thing that had like.
Oh yeah. So it's like Contra, but very good heavy metal.
It is from
themed.
this creator of Slain.
Slain.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
When you gain new powers after defeating metal as fuck bosses, you headbang as you absorb the new power, and it's like 2D pixel art, like really good smooth animations. Your dude just like, and it's got a really good style, and it looked fun.
yeah,
Like the Contra stylings of it looked.
yeah. The only red flag here is it's made by that guy, and that apparently that game is really rough. Like
Okay.
it launched in a state that was basically unplayable. He did a remastered version out like 6 months later, and it fixed most of it.
Yeah.
But I hear it's still not great. So it also looked nice. Then we got Borderlands 3 stuff. I felt like there was nothing new here.
No, the new stuff comes later at the
Yes.
AMD.
Experience.
But we got the creative director out. We were really on edge when they're like, we're getting out someone to talk about Borderlands 3. And I'm like, oh, the cops are going to show. It's happening.
It's too real.
And then they're like,
Well, see-
Todd. And I'm like,
Randy
Who the fuck
Pitchford
is-
wanted to go, but PR has had him on a fucking leash and chain since the kitten video.
That's what
and
we
it
thought.
It kept him away for the PC conference for sure.
Right. It kept him away from one conference.
It kept him away from one conference. But yeah, they didn't really show off anything super amazing. Just, Borderlands 3 is Epic Game Store exclusive, so it absolutely had to be here.
Yes.
Absolutely had to be here.
Yes.
They showed off some really clumsy looking footage of Moe's, I believe.
Mose. Is that one of the characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she mows them down.
Oh, yeah. She has a big robot suit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool.
And she
Like, that's the
uses-
idea.
And like they did that thing, and I can't believe it still looks like this. They did that thing where they did fire damage to an enemy, and it applied the same texture and shader from Borderlands 2 of I'm on fire. And it's like, it's been fucking 8 years. That looked awful then. It still looks bad now.
New engine, new look, Amazing.
Should we have like heat come off of them to show that they're
HDR.
should we
HDR.
swap out the skin texture, make it lava? That's how we know they're taking fire damage, son.
Time-honored tradition.
That's how your father showed fire damage. That's how your grandfather showed fire damage. And that's how you'll show fire damage.
Another game called Maneater. This is the shark game we were talking about before, where she came out in the shark outfit and was really cringy.
It's an open world shark game where
Shark PG.
Yes, Shark PG. The villain is what is it, Bob?
Scaly Pete.
Scaly Pete. He fishes in the Gulf.
Yeah, he looks like he's just bad at his job, so I got no impression that he was the villain the whole trailer.
Yeah.
He seemed like literally no threat. If anything, he was stopping people from looking at the shark and maybe stopping the shark.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're
Yeah.
the shark. You want to eat people. That's why he's the villain.
No, he's not stopping.
Well, he's gonna, but he didn't do it in that trailer.
He failed at it completely in that trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea.
But he was listening to some classic rock music, so they could play that during the trailer. I don't even remember what it was now. Then we got an epic commercial.
Mississippi Queen.
Yes, Mississippi Queen.
Which was weird because the first shot they showed, they say it takes place in the Gulf. The first shot they showed looked more like California. Like, it didn't look like any sort of coastal, like Gulf Coast sort of looking bay.
They had swampy looking areas, though.
Yeah,
so
they did, but the first area
the
looked
first area.
very West Coast. So
Yeah.
when they were like playing Mississippi Queen, I'm like, the fuck are you doing? And then they're like, this takes place in the fucking Gulf Coast. And I'm like, I mean, some of that, yeah, obviously the part where a fucking shark's there, which was another confusing thing. It's like, I thought this was a shark thing, not a gator thing. I see this, I'm looking at this bayou and I expect a gator, not a shark. How the fuck did a shark get here? Do you take a taxi? Do you think that's how you get to the next
I
level?
mean, you can upgrade your lungs to stay on line longer.
Yeah. It's just like, congratulations, you earned enough cash. Let's go to the next city. And then you stuff yourself in a fucking taxi cab. God, where's that game? I need games to be that cynically stupid and PS2 like.
Right. Anybody else got anything to say about Maneater?
There's gonna
the
be
Shark PG.
There's gonna be dudes standing next to the swamp, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, yo, I'm trying to sell tickets for this show, but all these mean protesters are here. Eat them all, motherfucker!" And then you're gonna eat them, and then he's gonna be like, "Thanks, man. Here's $200 and a stat point."
And then you'll eat him too. You can't eat him till after he gives you a stat point, though. They have to balance it somehow.
You're gonna jump over a helicopter, and then Eric Sparrow will like Photoshop his hair onto you, and he jumped over the helicopter.
That'll be it.
He'll be like, "Hey, you're my good friend, Shark. Wear this hat."
Okay, yeah. Then we got our E-Win gaming chair commercial.
It was an actual gaming chair called E-Win, and I nearly shit myself.
You gonna get it?
I was like, guys, you need to be a bit less on the nose than this. Just
Right?
a little. It's a fucking chair. Don't put the word win anywhere near it. That's fucking stupid. And then you put E at the beginning of that. This is the dumbest fucking name for a chair.
Oh man, my lower back needs an epic win.
Time to take some W's with this lumbar support. I feel like a winner already. It really did just look like a DX Racer sort of
Right, it was-
thing. The head pillow looked like a nicer quality though.
Some E-Win envy. That's what the E is for.
Oh, it's an envy win?
Yes.
Hey, Bob, let's move on from this dumb fucking chair.
Terraria Journey's End, which seems to be the final patch
Everyone in the
update
room's
for
like-
Terraria.
Terraria content?
Right?
In 2019?
It's like, what is happening?
Somebody was like,
I
hey,
think they
how
added-
about you
I think
fucking
they added
fix
Zoom
Starbound?
on PC recently, so I can actually play. It's not the same people.
Oh, I know that. I'm not saying everything people say at our E3 parties is smart. I'm just telling you what they said.
I'm glad I can play it finally because they put in Zoom a while back and I wasn't able to play it before then because my eyes are too shitty.
I'm sorry, Phil.
Have you tried glasses?
I have glasses. It's just that when I'm doing it on a
Badass.
TV that's 5 feet away,
Yeah, he can't.
it's really tiny.
He can't see the Terraria screen through his shades that say badass on them because he wrote it in Sharpie.
I'm dying.
But yeah, I thought it was fucking crazy that Terraria is showing up with some additional content in 2019.
Right. I haven't played that game in so long. It's
We
probably been
literally
literally
haven't
5
played
years.
that game in 6 years or some shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The next game is one of the worst, probably the whole E3. Telling Lies.
I don't want to be filmed expressing my opinion. Maybe we just how about this? We'll just
What is this? Oh no!
So let's talk about Telling Lies.
It's made,
Telling Lies is made by the people who made Her Story. Telling Lies is Her Story, but with way more actors. It's just another game where you fucking interface with an OS and you play back video clips. Here's the insulting part. They called this an open world game 3 times.
yeah.
Terms don't mean anything anymore, Dan. We're in a clown world where language means nothing.
The Metroidvania.
This fucking stream is an open world game. Sure, why not?
This is
Sure,
the most
why
egregious
not?
use of that word ever. Yeah. Ugh.
3 times. I just fuck them. I don't. That's ridiculous. It's fucking video clips.
You can mute. There's lots of video clips. It's like it's open world.
And you can watch them in any order you want.
Wow.
Holy
You can
shit.
do that with a fucking DVD.
Whoa! What is that? Hey,
You wanna
Bob,
play
we're
Seen
back
It?
to talk about real games.
Oh yeah, they also don't have a single microphone among them.
Oh no!
I
Hey,
killed
At
Dad.
least your skeleton has one.
Funny, my skeleton
So,
can
I
afford a
actually kinda
microphone,
feel
but
bad
people
for the
who made
developer
Her
of this
Story can't. What? Okay, go ahead, shoot.
All right.
The first one did okay, but literally the entire fucking press machine promoted for months. I don't think
I mean,
that's
it
gonna
won
happen
Game
again.
Awards. It won multiple
It
Game
won
Awards.
Best Story at the game.
It won Best Actress, Best
I
Story,
don't think
Best
it's going to
everything.
happen again, and I think since this game is going obviously costs a lot more, since it has a lot more people and locations,
They
we're
all
going to
look
get
like
one
they're
of
filmed
those
at their own
where
houses.
the water tastes like wine-esque things, where it's just like we spent all this money and reviewers loved it, but then it sold no copies.
That game features cameras that look like webcams without proper microphones, without actors that aren't good. I don't care if there's 16 fucking actors, it's dirt cheap compared to a real video game.
Yeah, they already had the OS work all done.
I
from the
mean,
first
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
all
they
the
already
back
figured
end.
out the hardest problem, which is that.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest fucking issue. I mean, if anything,
If they wasted money on this, it's insane. Like that.
Yeah, they-
like how they could possibly have done that.
you can look at it and tell they did not invest heavily because it's still webcam footage. It's not
They aren't
an
even
inventive
trying.
way to weave a story. This isn't the weird live action part of what the fuck was his name? Quantum Break. It's not that. It's not, the bouncer.
One where it's where it ties to. Thank you, Dragon Knight.
And we're back to talk about games.
Like Warframe.
We talked about Warframe
Don't hit it
yesterday.
again.
We talked about Warframe yesterday.
We did. It came up again.
Oh.
Moving on. Genesis Noir looked pretty neat. Had like a noir Art Deco looking art style to it.
Genesis Noir?
Yeah.
What's that the name?
Yeah.
They kind of ran it. That's what it was. Okay, so the person who's announcing this game kind of ran his words together and had a light accent. I thought they were saying the name of the CEO of NVIDIA.
Yes.
Because for those who don't know, the CEO of NVIDIA's name is Jensen Huang. So they said Genesis Noir. And I'm just like, wait, but Isn't the AMD gonna kick down the door at any point to announce a video card they already announced? Because we didn't know at this point AMD had their own shit.
Right.
But yeah, Genesis Noir looked neat. I don't know what the gameplay
Yeah, I'm not
is
sure.
though, so
Like
I don't have any attachment whatsoever.
Them got El Hijo, which is, I've heard, Spanish for the Hijo.
Bob,
Hit the button.
I'm gonna thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. How do you spell
Thank you
Hijo?
for me.
Hijo.
Now, Bob, I know I don't have to inform you of this because you took 3 years of Spanish.
Fucking gringos.
Yeah.
It's hijo.
Hijo? Okay. I'll try and remember.
El Hijo, which stands for the vagina. Bob, tell me about El Hijo. Tell me about the Hojo.
The Hojo, yeah.
What's up with Hojo nowadays?
Looked like it was set in a Mexican like monastery. You're playing as a child who's been left there by his mother,
I saw that game.
and you're trying to escape by sneaking around all the monks.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a kind of attractive art style. It's like all hand drawn looking.
Unending Nightmare 2 says El Chic Hydrobot.
Yes, that's what it was.
I like the question earlier of, is this plumbers wear ties too?
Yeah, they looked into the game telling lies, and that was their first question. And
Plumbers Wears Tie is probably a higher production value game.
it definitely is, even though they only use stills. You could tell they took an actual film camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
And then they closed the whole thing out on Baldur's Gate 3, was having absolutely zero new footage or information about the game. So that was something.
So, Bob,
What's up?
how do you feel about this conference?
I'll give it a C.
Bob, your voice changed, and you seem to be coming from my headphones.
Right? That's strange.
Are you astral projecting because this conference is so much to deal with?
It is. I'm gonna have to give it another, I guess an F for games, because there's probably 2 games in this gigantic pile that I don't ever want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then presentation was Day 9 tried.
Yeah.
His co-host was so cringy though, it couldn't help save him. So to get the D+.
I'm going to give this a D+ for games.
Okay.
Because there were 2 games I was super interested in, and the third that I was pretty interested in. Presentation-wise, I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough because they kept moving. In a lot of ways, compared to some conferences, there are improvements. It's not like the VR conference. I'd rather deal with them than YouTuber VR man.
Right. Definitely.
The shark suit wasn't most of her.
Yeah, she just also had prop guns.
The prop gun thing was awful.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's in the D range. I'm gonna go ahead and say D+ though. I need to make room for things to be lower.
Right.
Like Square Enix, because RPGs are dumb," said Dan before drinking another Monster and crushing it on his head.
Okay.
No, RPGs was a good time to get out of RPGs.
RPGs was a good time to get out of RPGs.
That's how it works, right?
What did you say, Phil?
Blech.
Oh well, Phil's gone. Hey, KZ Phil, do either of you want to give this a fucking rank?
No, I didn't watch any of it, so I have honor and I'm staying.
That hasn't stopped KZ.
You gave the last one an A.
Yeah, but I can't do the joke twice. Fine, it gets a fucking S. Max Hunter rank. It's the new leader of the map.
It's the new sheriff in town.
Good job, podcast.
Good job, PC gaming show. Day 9 is the new sheriff in town.
I will give it. There's a lot of ranks. I will give it a Z rank.
Now, is that extra high or extra low?
I'm not sure. I feel like Z usually means
I don't know. You could. It's the ranking from Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit for the 360. And
Okay.
That was pretty good.
No, it wasn't, but
but the rank was high in it.
the rank was high in that game. Yes.
Yes.
Well, it was the last 2D one we got until Fighters on a console.
It wasn't 2D. Just saying.
Well, this last one was somewhat 2D
you know,
gameplay.
you know the direction I'm going.
Making shit up?
Okay, we should move on. We got limited run games. Me and Dan got halfway through this conference and just tapped out.
Oh shit, Sion's here screaming burst limit was not good, you liar.
No, it was raw, Zion.
No, it was real bad. I bought it and wanted to die.
Yeah, it was intensely bad, unfortunately.
It
Thank
has
you,
to be
Vox.
good. I played it 10 years ago, and clearly my memory works that far back.
KZ,
I am losing my fucking mind that these are streams have enough people were getting spam bots.
KZ, that means you played it when you were only 2?
Super Mario.
Damn it.
Shut up.
He's just trying to scare off the spam bots by spamming them back.
Super Mario.
KZ, you can't do it. You can't outspam the spam bots. You'll die.
Right?
I'm
But yeah,
giving it my all.
So limited run games.
Oh my god! I thought we were I thought we were out of the fucking unreal levels of bad conferences, but no. It had just begun. For those who don't know, limited run games, they do physical copies of games that came out years ago most of the time. At best, I've seen them do a physical
Yeah,
copy
they're
of a
for,
game that's a year ago. So, like, digital copies, digital games, you want to have a physical copy for posterity's sake.
Right.
Or because you're a boom.
Sion is in the chat. Please pull your punches. So...
Yeah.
See, I could do gulping sound too, but they're hyper realistic and uncomfortable.
Was there actual games here, or was this just like, here's our upcoming physical thing?
It's just all the upcoming physical things.
So
What?
they wanted to announce the games they were going to physically release. They decided to do this by having a giant boner for Devolver Digital, and they're walking around their studio with a camera that, I'm an asshole. It looks so much worse than our fucking camera. That's all I have to say about that. But they're walking around
It's just
their
a bad
studio.
cam. That's all you can say about
It's
it.
just no. It really looks like an outdated camcorder, like 2009, 2008.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say something like
Yeah.
that. Anyway, they're walking around with that shit, and then he's like, "Where's the conference happening?" And he goes, "It's happening right here." And then a really shitty effect happens, and then the rest of the conference takes place in a 3D model of an arena with 2D cardboard standee people in all of the seats, and the people who are from the company on stage also 2D with green screen footage that looks terrible and cuts them off at the head because and they had to film each person individually on the green screen because they didn't have a wide enough green screen to film both of them. It is a nightmare.
Just you describing this makes me want to die.
Yeah.
At one point, a dude does a JoJo's joke, and as someone says he's wasting time with these old releases, he summons a stand and beats him up with Vita punches. And he goes, Vita, 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 Vita.
Wow,
I
the
don't
new
believe
Channel
you.
Awesome movie sounds incredible.
It really
Yeah,
did have
yeah,
a
it-
Channel Awesome energy. If anyone at Channel Awesome could do 3D graphics, I'm pretty sure they outsource every single thing
can't
that
believe
requires
you.
it. Yeah, I couldn't either.
It literally is like
It's
Yeah.
unreal how bad it is. There are several other bad jokes. Here, like every second of it's bad because they can't film the two guys at once. So every time one guy's talking, the other one's just like doing this.
yeah.
Because he can't talk because he doesn't have a mic, and if he did, then it wouldn't sync up with the other guy. And so what they'll do is when they want to talk to each other, it'll show in 3D space the camera slightly that way, and then it'll cut to another shot. And every time it's cutting which one's talking, the other one goes from, I'm going to say a sentence that clearly leads to your sentence. And then when it does the cut, they're like,
And they're both like their dimensions don't match up at all.
yeah,
Like
they're
one-
cardboard standees, but they're not camera oriented. They're like this. So you can see how 2D they are, and they don't.
And then they have fake shadows coming off them too, and it's just like some. It's the most unimaginably bad thing you can do.
It really is. It is so unreal. Man, YouTube, maybe you should invest some tech in fucking fixing this bot problem. Just a thought, if someone posts 4 fucking links and has the word sex in their fucking username. But it's okay.
Mysteries.
They're going to solve streaming with Stadia.
They put the S in front of it.
They put the S in front of sex? They can't figure
Yeah,
out the word.
there's 2 S's there. Mysteries to freaking
Anyway,
Google.
It's an unreal level of conference. At one point, he's like, after he does the Vita joke, they come back and he goes, oh, but that's not all. This isn't even my final form. And his body rips into 3 pieces that turn red and blue on the sides. And then he transforms, making Transformer sounds into a Vita. Sorry, a Switch.
Yeah, Switch.
He turns into a Switch, and then his face is edited onto the Switch screen. Also, his mic sounds like it costs $10 on Amazon, and it clips with every word.
No games were shown here. Why are you doing this to me and KZ?
Dan, I have an important update. Mr. Feel, in an attempt to poison me, has sent me the limited run games and gave me a timestamp of this Vita section. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
They think they're hilarious.
I think this is
Please
really
move
funny.
On. Please.
Okay.
We gotta rate it first.
No, we're not cowards. We gotta rate it. Can I look at your notes real quick?
Yeah, we stopped
Okay.
halfway through, so we only have some of the games, but Red Faction
Let me
is getting
tell
a
you,
physical release.
real hot release, Red Faction 1.
Yeah,
For the Switch.
What?
Turok.
Red Faction 1?
Rogue Legacy for the Switch. Here's how old Rogue Legacy is. I made reviews when Rogue Legacy came out. Jesus Christ.
Freedom Planet's getting a physical release
We
on the
just
Switch.
bailed.
Yeah.
We literally didn't watch it to the end. We just bailed after Red Faction, right?
Yeah, no, we just couldn't.
It was too
Couldn't
much
even do
after
it.
him turning into
A Nintendo Switch.
a Nintendo Switch. Also, Freedom Planet was there.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you want to fly free, then you'll like our next game. And I'm like, you said free, so Freedom Planet maybe, but you don't really fly in that. You do little boosts and
Right.
then it popped up with the Galaxy Trail logo, and I was like, all right. Presentation F-. It it finds a way.
Yeah. No, it's basically the worst thing imaginable.
It really is. I feel like this is why I like, if I remember correctly, presentation-wise, I gave Bethesda an F because I said we have to leave room for something worse. This is something worse. We basically have never bailed on an E3 conference.
Yeah, okay.
Ever.
That is a new low. So yeah, I'll give it that F-2 because we had to turn it off. It was so bad. We had to turn it off.
That's clearly what
games also get an F-. There wasn't a single new game.
That's clearly
There's
what
nothing exciting.
a failing grade means. And games, it really doesn't make sense to rate the games on this. I
Right.
don't really I can't get hyped for their business model. It doesn't work for me. So now we got to talk about AMD or
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft.
I wrote notes for this.
Cool.
No, KZ. I be hard Ubisoft. See, he makes a joke that's like writing the lines so much worse by making that sound.
Uh-huh.
I always like to assist.
Bob,
What's up?
go.
All right. It opened with the Assassin's Creed Symphony.
Which,
it was iconic.
Which some people were hoping was a game, and then after playing music long enough, they realized was just what they were doing on stage.
It seemed,
It was an
something I
ad
didn't
for.
expect.
It was an
It
ad
felt
for a
classier
symphony
than what Ubisoft usually does.
they were gonna do later.
I
But
liked
then
how at the end
then it was an ad.
it just turned into God of War music.
There's no music that is distinct in Assassin's Creed, period.
Which is why people were making jokes about, like, man, that sounded like a cacophony of rhythms that didn't really have a strong melody anywhere near it. And then somebody made the joke of, yeah, they should finish playing that, and just to prove how unmemorable all of the music in Assassin's Creed is, go to someone in the audience and be like, hey, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed song? Just hum the melody, and they would just start sweating and be like, da-da-da, God of War. Oh, no!
Oh no!
Da, 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 da.
Good job. That was very impressive. That was a song from a video game, and I recognized it.
I did recognize the last song they played of that.
Yeah, where
Everything else was just
when it like
generic.
when the song at the very end went dun da da da. Yeah, that was pretty.
yeah, that part.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I love Dante's Inferno.
I like how they opened the Ubisoft conference by Doug Walker pointing his gun at the.
Yeah.
No, wait, sorry, that was limited run games.
You know what? Be glad that the pre-recorded video shit took as long as it did. If it had been around a decade ago, you'd have gotten that for real.
Yeah.
All right, then we moved on to Watch Dogs Legions, a big game for this Ubisoft conference.
Yeah, Watchdog Legions.
Legion. Sorry.
Legion.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you pluralize the word
don't know.
legions? I was like, whatever. Bob took the notes, and he wouldn't just misread his own notes.
Always up for that.
Watch Dogs Legion. The subtitle's so good, I was going to be fucking furious at the game if it didn't use it.
Boy.
Oh no.
As
really
you can guess by
enjoy-
KZ's incessant bit, it takes place in England.
Oh.
In London specifically. I think the funniest thing is immediately the very first shot, first thing you see, a billboard for cryptocurrency, so you know it's dystopian. The second thing, a billboard for the paramilitary company that runs the surveillance because they're too cowardly to just make the villains the state.
Right.
Now the
Three,
dude.
when that dude puts on a mask, it's the mask that looks exactly like the logo of a YouTube skeptic, and I lost my mind.
He looks just like one of the Bleach villains too.
yeah, I know the one. It's the big skeleton man.
Yes. Who wears a crown?
Yeah, that dude was cool. The crypto thing is funny because when they brought the dude out to describe the game, he's like, "These are the things we're going through. Selling your dad's liver for cryptocurrency or some shit."
He said buying a liver on the black market with cryptocurrency. Something that I can say with complete confidence has never occurred.
And then he said something about Brexit, and then I went, "Oh yeah, these apolitical games that you put out. I got you."
What else do we got,
I
Bob?
mean,
What
like I
else?
said,
Talk about it.
Yeah, the whole idea is you're not just one character. It's like a whole bunch of characters you can recruit. They kept saying you can recruit everyone, but that's clearly not the case. Like there's no way you're recruiting literally
They just
everyone in the
made
city.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot
it
of
looks like that you can recruit almost any NPC. It's like the first two games where you would get like a data cube about anybody, like a data blurb, except that's just what their stats will be if you recruit them.
Yeah, well,
Thank you for the $5 Streamlabs donation. I don't know what the username is, so I'm not going to read it. Not going to read,
Because
the name.
one of them was just like adrenaline junkie perk dies easily.
Oh.
yeah, there's also permadeath for their characters.
I thought that one was funny.
And there's dialogue between them that refers to having them knowing each other and that one has died, and it felt like that was all super fake and there's no way they'll have that many things recorded.
Yeah, where it's just like, I respect the dead, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of which, such and such. And then she's like, eh.
And there seems to be a disembodied voice that's like the voice of the Legion, who's giving whoever
Well,
you're playing
no,
his
the-
orders.
Legion would be everyone involved. He's like
The
some weird
DedSec or
central
whatever they
AI
call
or
it.
yeah, DedSec, yeah.
Yeah, his name's Bartley. He's the claptrap of the game.
Haha, your friend is
Alright.
dead. Haha.
Oh no, he's more like that. He's more like Wheat. Oh God, he's like Wheatley.
He is like
Fucking
Wheatley, which is
too.
why I look confused when you said Claptrap. I was like, nah, he's more like Wheatley.
Listen, Dan. I try not to think about Portal 2 too much.
I try to think about it just enough to remember how everyone disagreed with me.
What? The Portal 2
I mean,
is the
I-
best one?
I still like Portal 2, but I just don't like thinking about it.
Anyway.
As long as you don't ever play it again, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just like Metal Gear Solid 4. Better hope they never re-release that.
I'm sure it'll be Kino. I can't wait to crawl down a microwave hallway again.
See, you're remembering the highlights.
Is that the one where they kiss?
Yes, KZ.
Every one of them is the one with a kiss.
Literally every Metal Gear Solid character kisses in every Metal Gear game. I have answered your question permanently and forever. Every one of them is the one where they kiss, KZ.
I will try to remember so the next time you say Metal Gear Solid 4, I don't ask that question.
So my favorite part about Watch Dogs 3 is it looks okay. It looks pretty good. It looks I got my neck snapped from the tonal whiplash, but as a game it looks fine.
Yeah, that
It's coming out
really
the exact
fun.
same week as it's coming out the same week as Final Fantasy VII remake, so it's unfortunate for that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to imagine the crossover in the markets there.
right. I
It's more just mind share.
yeah, March 6th. Yeah, it's not coming out this year. Like it's Ubisoft did not have a big. Well, I guess they have Ghost Recon this year. Yeah, that's their big.
There were
thing.
rumors
They have a million, billion, trillion Tom Clancy games, all of which I think sell like 45 million copies each.
It's a lot of DLC and extended support this year.
Right.
Yeah. There's only one game I think they announced here that is new and hitting this year. Unless that rollerball game.
Yeah, I think that rollerball game will hit this year. I think.
It's got a demo. That's all they said though.
Right.
So
We'll see.
I mean, it could be here's a demo and then they workshop it for a year. They've done things like
They
that.
have.
I will play Watch Dogs Legion and create a legion of golden girls.
We all knew you would, KZ.
I hope they have some kind of character creator, like even if it's just to release them out into the world, because I don't want to just be like, I hope I find someone that looks cool and doesn't have a perk like eats gravel.
I don't know.
Has dumbest mask.
When the trailer opened on that guy, I was like, man, this is the price you pay, huh?
Right.
Fucking hello. We here at Ubisoft can't polish a game to save our lives. As such, every game project gets greenlit on how much of a fucking outlandish gimmick we can come up with. Well, hey, what about with the Crew 2? The cars can fly. How about the car just turns into a plane? Okay, sure, whatever the fuck, I don't care. How about with the new Watch Dogs? Everyone is a watchdog. That's not what they're called, but okay, we can do that. So as such, the first person in the trailer doesn't look as good, like model-wise or anything, as any prior Watch Dogs protagonist. And I'm just like,
Ubisoft can't design one good character. Here we are expecting them to design a whole fleet.
listen to
They
this
designed-
motherfucker over here not recognizing the iconic nature of Aiden Pierce's hat.
Look, they designed Ezio once.
He was okay, I guess. I
They
don't know.
used up all their sauce.
But yeah, Aiden Pierce, I think, actually has a pretty iconic design. The guy in the next game still looks like a good model. We have now fully regressed to, hey man, these pigeons keep bothering me. I need you to grind this rail to scare off the pigeons.
We're Tony Hawk again. Help.
That's our protagonist now.
So,
Yeah.
do you think that you'll be able to use multiple in a single mission, or do you think that's too hard?
That's not what they want.
Because I feel like the ideal would be you use one of your hackers to open the door for your big strong guy to go in and punch somebody.
I think-
Right, like that would make sense. So they might try and do something like that, but I just don't know. Because they want to. Even the trailer, they kind of acted like, "Oh no, you guys work alone. You don't need to go meet everyone. You're connected all the time."
Don't you see? We're everywhere. In that will never back you up.
Right?
I mean, they said there's online multiplayer and it shares progress with the main game, so you could just do the missions in multiplayer. So I'm wondering if there's going to be an offline version of that that work kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5, where you can switch between the protagonists on some missions.
'Cause
Right.
if there's one thing I want to do to enrich the Watch Dogs experience, it's getting Ubisoft's crack AI team on coding up a partner for me for any given situation.
All right.
He'll probably run me over.
Is there anyone?
I also think it's funny how the only idea they had for hackers was send the spider to crawl on his face. They
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
that, like,
fuck
3
his
times
face.
in the trailer.
Fuck his face with your electro dick.
Jeez.
I enjoyed that. It was funny.
I also enjoyed the part where it's like, this grandma is a super assassin. Smash cut to her walking up to a dude in broad daylight as she wears a gas mask and has a gun and
Yeah.
just shoots him in the spine.
It was a real moment.
I like the stereotypical old woman walk with her. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that we're going to be playing with NPCs to all have the same old woman walk. Oh man,
Input lag.
this game's going to
I
be
can't
rough.
wait until they like don't think too hard about it, so the grandma can vault.
They showed her like
It's just
having
like-
trouble getting over stuff.
Yeah, they saw her like literally have to front flip over a fence. Like she walked up to it, put her weight up, and then just went, fell over it because she couldn't vault it.
Right.
So at least that's something. But every grandma's gonna move the same way. Every grandma's gonna vault
Unless there's
clumsily the same
a
way.
grandma with a perk that gives her better movement options.
She's
gymnast grandma.
She's gonna be ripped granny.
Yes.
She'll have a perk that just says spry, and she can sprint and jump over things.
Will she look like Carrot Top?
Stop talking about Carrot Top.
No, E3 is the one time a year I think of Carrot Top. Day 3 of E3, I won't even remember Carrot Top exists.
Right? It's be gone.
It's just the
This
PC.
is the void day.
Yeah, it's just the PC conference. I get to have a one day where I go, all right, Carrot Top. He's ripped his shit now.
We gotta watch Carrot Top's movie.
Shut the fuck up, KZ.
Bob, keep moving.
Yes. Okay. Mythic Quest. This is for the Apple
that was
TV
the shitty
Plus.
Final Fantasy they made for the States, right?
Yes.
Final Fantasy Mythic Quest.
No, that was Mystic Quest.
Ah, jeez, I
Mythic
can't
Quest
believe I
is-
mixed that up.
So,
Mythic Quest is the gang makes a video.
As I was watching this segment of the of the stream, I always have Feel's notes off to the side so I can see him frantically type the things as they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I screamed, "Oh no!" because I see in his notes, "We're doing a cursed content club on the first 3 episodes. You don't get a choice."
Oh right. It was the TV show with the Always Sunny guy.
I'll make you a deal. We'll do it. But you have to watch that season of The Tester that has Egoraptor on it.
Deal.
Okay?
Feel did not respond.
Yeah, I
I
think
cut out, but deal. I'm totally on board.
Oh no.
Content is being workshopped at this very moment, chat.
for those who don't know, Mythic Quest is a TV show being made by some of the people behind It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia about the largest MMO that has ever been made, the most popular one. And, you know, creative directors, he's found out through meeting some, are really egotistical. So we get to see in our little snippet of the show what he thought was a good ad for the game, but is in fact just a PR piece about how awesome he is as a creative director and how he should be in the same names such as Spielberg and thought of as a visionary idea guy. And this is the only joke. It's the whole. It's a minute and a half. It's the only
It's
joke.
brilliant.
And then they show how ripped he is at the end. That's the whole joke. And
It had to be
So
an
I have
MMO.
a gamer premonition.
God.
okay, go.
There's going to be at least one article people mad because I'm going to bet that the actual show is a lot meaner.
So your prediction is someone will be mad about something.
My prediction is explicitly a game director will be mad about how game directors are portrayed in this show.
Ah.
Are we gonna narrow it down and be specific? And are you gonna say you mean Neil Druckmann, or are you gonna make it fine mean some other dude?
I can't wait to see who it is because it'll be like they mean me.
Well,
It'll
it's
be
a good
David
thing.
Cage.
It's a good thing Randy Pitchford isn't a game director.
That's right.
He's a
He's gonna
clown.
be in jail by the time this comes out.
Stop that. Allegedly.
Allegedly in jail.
Allegedly.
Paraphrased.
There was some new Rainbow Six content shown. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's some new
He
what?
had, like, a
Rainbow
little
Six
Bond
content.
esque trailer.
Yeah, I had played some
The
sort of Bond
endless
character.
Tom Clancy Death March, where I started to get mixed up and didn't know what was DLC for what because they have like 8 different games and announced like 5 different DLC packs for each.
Yeah.
Tom
Brawlhalla's
Clancy's the Ubisoft.
Brawlhalla's getting Adventure Time content. That seems a little late.
Feel seemed to have feelings on this. Feel, what's your opinion on this?
So sometimes when there's crossovers in media, you can tell that it came from genuine love of the thing they're crossing over with.
Like
And
Smash.
sometimes you see the characters and they spout quotes completely free of context because people know what those quotes are, and I turn to stone.
Like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how completely in context it is for Jake to yell his bacon pancake song that he sang while making pancakes, but now he's singing it while he's fighting someone for some reason.
Just
Yep.
because they got the character doesn't mean they got the writer.
Also, who the fuck plays Brawlhalla? They tried to lie to me and say 25 million people played, and I just went, no, they don't.
Yeah, I find
Yeah,
that hard to believe. But I would like to note, Mega Man 14 says, "What's Adventure Time? Never heard of it." Someone else is saying, if you're colorblind, you can't see Adventure Time. These are very weird statements in the chat.
It's
I
not
have
relevant.
no
I
comment-
don't
I have no
understand
commentary
anything
on
of
them
what
at
they
all.
were saying.
Mm-mm.
So
We're gonna move on.
Like,
We're gonna move on.
Like if
Okay.
if someone ever posted something like that, I would never retweet it. Never.
We got Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They brought out, they showed it a little bit. They had the main antagonist show up is the actor himself. He's the guy who played the Punisher.
John Bernthal.
Something Menthol.
We're brothers, and now you have to shoot your brother in the face.
We're brothers, mentholated brothers.
The Terminator is here.
I have a dog.
They're really pushing that for some reason.
Yeah, this conference strangely faded in a picture of the Terminator robot.
It played the music. It
played-
had fire cinders traveling into the air, particle effects, and it go do 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 do, and it was like,
I'm
and then it just faded.
Yeah, it just faded out.
Getting concerned about that Smash DLC news.
It's just the fucking T-1000.
Yeah.
And the great thing is the victory. No, it's the 2000. The reason why is because the victory animation, he gets to turn his head into metal, turn towards the camera, and go, "Get out." And it like looks completely wrong. It's perfect to the original CG from Terminator 2.
I like that dog.
Yes, the dog
So,
came out on stage.
we have a rest in peace.
I'll be back.
Okay, Dan will be back. What's up?
There's a rest in peace for Sam Fisher, who has been sealed in the coffin of mobile gaming.
Yeah, when I saw this, it's Ghost Recon Delta Company. No, that's the community page thing. Mobile game. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
I don't know what Yeah, Elite Squad. It's the Tom Clancy mobile game that features iconic characters such as the Division Man and a character from Siege and Sam Fisher trapped in this hell zone.
Right. I was like, surely if they're showing this, they have to have a new Sam Fisher game to show off, right? No?
Wrong.
Oh no. Yeah, this was
Maybe
depressing.
someday
That
it will get its turn after the other 105 Tom Clancy games are done.
They have to figure out a way to monetize it because they're too fucking stupid to figure out how to monetize spies versus soldiers or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. Just Dance 2020. It's for the Wii.
It's on the
I
Wii.
win.
Wii never dies, baby.
Who wrote?
I'm so glad that we pushed that. Had to push that Just Dance for the Wii.
Yeah, it's going to be there for as long as it can be. I'm going to go ahead and bet on next year too.
Also on Stadia.
Yeah, also Stadia. Which
Put on your Wi-Fi pants.
No, apparently you use your phone. Let's see. Then we got For Honor limited time event, which is called Shadow of the Hitokiri. And possibly Batosai. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a limited event for Honor, which makes me immediately turn my brain off because I'm not going to go get into For Honor to play this limited time event.
I'm like, how is For Honor still a thing?
Yeah, I was
People
shocked when it just put up For Honor, and I went, "Oh wow."
People still play it.
Right? That seems crazy to me. That game is rough.
I thought it was fun when I played it, but then they kept releasing DLC I didn't want to buy.
I just remember the creative director or whoever it was, the really cool guy who came out during all the E3s pushing it.
Yeah, he had the huge beard. People seem to like him.
Company like as soon as the game came out.
Oh, did he? That's sad.
Well, it didn't sell 150 trillion copies, so now it's part of the Assassin's Creed universe.
Is it?
Yes, because the game opens with like an Abstergo splash, and the idea is you're playing a game Abstergo.
That's
Bob,
awful.
give us the next item. I'm crumbling.
Well, first, let's see. Division 2. Quentin. Wait, no. What? Oh, Rainbow Six Quarantine. Which is a separate game. It's a brand new Rainbow Six game that's co-op focused. It's a 3-player co-op game. It's not an expansion for regular Rainbow Six Siege. It's out now. They want to release a totally separate game. I guess there's some sort of virus that's going on, and you're trying to, in a 3-man squad, figure it out. Go through levels.
This is the one that I couldn't even bring myself to go. Okay, because there's so many at this point.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, maybe this is Sam Fisher with the demon arm. Please give me that, not whatever this actually is.
Oh, okay, this can't be Tom Clancy because they have 4 other fucking games coming out related to it. So this must be some maybe a new IP or bringing something back. Maybe it's Rayman, but no.
Then we moved on to Division 2 Community Highlight, which was the cringe factor of this whole thing.
I blocked it out.
Oh, they just kept showing random people from the community saying how much they love Division 2 on their live streams. It was
off
really
camera.
rough.
Their fucking family is at gunpoint.
Yes, obviously.
You will praise it.
And then
Now they announced the first expansion for the Division 2.
Yeah, they kept going with this.
Creatively titled Episode 1.
Exciting. It has new zones. You get to go. Let's see. National Zoo, Kenley College, the Pentagon. I'm not sure. They did all 3 episodes of it. They announced things from all parts. So I kind of
did a bigger teaser for the 3rd episode.
Right. Pentagon was there. They're doing a second raid. I still can't believe that this game has raids.
Yeah, I was like, raids.
8 people.
It's a raid. They're just doing a free weekend this weekend, the 13th to the 16th.
Oh, fantastic!
Get hype.
Real excited.
I'm excited.
Division movie was announced by Netflix. Wait, was that
cursed content once again?
Right? What?
Oh no!
I just wrote down Netflix movie. Was this still Division 2? I think it was.
This was
just the Division.
A Division movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in it.
Okay.
I'm sure it's going to be complete trash, and it's definitely going to be weird and
It
authoritarian.
can totally bomb, and we'll never know.
It'll be hidden from the masses. I don't know. It's not the Tom Clancy license. I feel like they can get people to go watch that. It's Netflix. A lot of people got Netflix.
A lot more applause for that than the Mythic Quest. Very strange.
On Apple TV.
Yeah, very strange.
Weird. I wonder what the difference is. I didn't go over how there was a legit suspicion that during that For Honor thing there was going to be a Samurai Jack tie-in.
Okay, I did not legit have this. I did not legit have this suspicion, but I love doing this at E3 where I'm like, long ago, and people are like, oh fuck, is it going to be Samurai Jack? I just love fucking doing that once a year on the most suspect thing.
Oh my
And the
god.
whole room is just like on the edge of their seat thinking it's going to be Samurai Jack, and I'm like, no.
It's
fucking-
look, it's that same thing
You
as the
heard
Kingdom
that
Hearts.
over here.
Is the Kingdom Hearts theory that's currently not disproven. There's enough information for it to not be disproven for the first half of that trailer.
Bob had a 500-page theory in his brain about how this was Samurai Jack. I'm like, Bob, it's not Samurai Jack. And he's like, what? They haven't shown it. And I'm like, they haven't said the word foolish 3 times by now. It's not fucking...
It's not going to be fun at all. It's Ubisoft.
I want this. I want this now. You can
So I'd
bring
like
him
to
in.
see
Bring in the Scotsman as well.
I'd like to read my notes directly for this next part.
Go for it, Phil.
Oh, good.
Oh no, the next part.
Ubisoft subscription on PC, Uplay Plus. Bullet. I was so fucking scared it was a streaming streaming service. Next bullet, literally 15 seconds later. $15 a month? Fuck off.
I saw this in real time. It was insane.
It also has Stadia support.
Yeah, it has Stadia support, which I thought was funny. It's like I'm giving Google $15 and they're giving you part of that? That's the idea? Okay, I guess. Here's the thing for me. I didn't have an ounce of fear that this was a streaming platform. You know why? Bethesda is the company that goes, we could make that.
But after Bethesda, I was so afraid because they were like, oh my God, because we joked about it. We said, there's no way Ubisoft is going to announce a streaming service.
Ubisoft is the company that'll be like, we would love to have a big dick. Looks around the room. We don't got a big dick. We got to outsource this big dick problem. So then Google comes and solves that. Bethesda is the one who looks around the room and goes, I have 2 dicks. And everyone looks at them like, no, you don't.
No, that's not how that
What if I had
works.
6?
Bethesda will look at your dick and say, I made that dick. My dick.
I invented cock. You're welcome.
I think this is the most ludicrous one of these subscriptions. I feel like
It's 3 times as much as Game Pass. 3 times.
Yeah. Not Ultimate Game Pass, but
it doesn't even get you the games early like EA's psychotic Game Pass does.
it's literally there's no reason
Ultimate
to do
Game
this.
Pass gives you Xbox Live Gold too.
Yeah. They are insane.
Yeah, no, this is not a great value.
No
I'm
one even
glad
buys their
it's-
games on PC.
because they're always broken at launch.
Yeah.
And
because you have to use Uplay.
now you have to use Uplay to use this. It's kind of insane. But I was certain they weren't going to do stream technology because they knew they couldn't, and I'm glad they knew they couldn't.
Right, at least there's that.
I hope they get to enjoy the pleasure that is knowing that Stadia isn't a success. Like everyone in the game industry will figure out pretty fucking quick.
No, it's gonna launch and be it's gonna be sliced bread.
Here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna launch. It's not gonna do that well, and Google will keep running it forever, pretending it's doing well. Every game publisher will figure out it is not doing well, and Google will get less and less support as time goes.
Yeah, that's how this sort of
That's the
thing works.
Google way.
But then they'll cancel it brutally in 3 years, and all the money you spent added up to nothing.
I don't know. That
Yes.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. Okay.
They might shut down this stream.
Look, if Google feels like coming by and punishing our channel because we have speculative thoughts about their products and how they may lack commitment as a corporation, they're free to make us famous. They're free to come by and shut down the channel for that reason. I would love to become a crazy, almost red-pilled, like, weird visionary of, like, they're actually after me.
Now we all stream on Twitch.
They just don't want the people to know about input lag.
Oh no!
Let me tell you about the problem with Google.
Okay, go ahead.
You bought that laptop. It's not a real laptop. It's a Chromebook. You got scroogled.
Oh, that's a good Doug Walker impression.
Doug Walker in 5 years. He's finished balding completely and now has lost his teeth.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's like half his body mass.
He's like, that's, oh my god,
That's his
that is
best quality.
your move, Google. Sorry,
He gets implants like Boogie, but they're twice as big as his normal teeth.
there was a bit of a nightmare
Dude, why
when
you
we
always
had.
talking about teeth?
There was a you fuck you. You don't get to say that. There was a bit of a nightmare when Boogie was on the left side of the Game Slice couch and
no.
Steven Totilo was on the right.
No.
And I was just like, hey Xeon, who's that wrestler? Oh, okay, is he a piece of shit? What's he doing on that couch? Bob just wakes up. The whole stream was a dream.
Right?
Okay, so Roller Champions was shown.
Yes.
Excited for Roller Champions. Is anyone else here? I know you seem to
Looks
not
neat.
care.
I don't know how it feels like to play, but I'll try it.
Right. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's the
I cannot
thing.
trust Ubisoft to make a game that actually feels good.
But here's the thing, in a sport like that, you actually would have to deal with momentum. So it's possible that you can have a lot of animation blending and input latency and it would still feel right.
it's possible.
It'd feel like
It
what
looked
you
interesting.
expect. But yeah,
After all the games I did not care about in that long stretch of Tom Clancy stuff.
holy shit, what a nightmare. It was like you entered a fractal maze.
Yeah. This is kind of weird.
It just
Every
kept
dead
fucking
end is just a
going.
Tom Clancy game.
You're like, how many fucking games do you have?
How is this linked to the other Tom Clancy game?
Get me the fuck out of here! I'm not gonna play these!
What do you mean DLC for DLC for DLC?
What do you mean this is
If I
season 2 of
actually
CLC?
If I actually had free time, maybe I'd try this roller champion game.
Yeah, no, I'm interested.
Yeah, I want to get the alpha, but I think it's hidden somewhere on Uplay, and that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's out today.
I went actually to the Uplay website and couldn't find it, and was like, okay, I'm busy.
Good. I'm good. I got other shit going on.
Then they announced Gods and Monsters.
Okay, so
Okay,
here's the thing. Okay, Phil, I'll let you go first.
I fucking, for a second, when they showed that character's back for a second, I was like, is this fucking them being allowed to reboot Kid Icarus?
Okay, that's hilarious. Because I was actually insanely close when it started, and Bob can confirm this. I was like, it's Assassin's Creed, like trying to make it all kiddie sounding. And then that's basically what it was. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then what was it? Dr. Aggro called it? Assassin's Tweens. And I was
Yes.
like,
Wow.
that's good. That's real good.
That looked neat. It was nice to see something colorful.
I
And,
want to believe that
you
your
know.
character's a creative character, because, oh man, if that's a designed character, that's really bad.
I mean, it's probably a designed character.
Did you see the title of this game? For the people that give you such great innovative titles such as Skull and Bones, we have Gods and Monsters.
I wonder if they'll cancel this like Skull and Bones. I'm sorry, that's not canceled.
It's
Allegedly.
canceled.
Allegedly.
It got screwed.
We just didn't see it at all. It just got
They
moved
do-
to next gen. I'm sure they'll give it a huge layer of visual polish and not just dump it in the bay.
Vox,
I
the
think
reason
it'll be fine.
Vox, the reason there's so many porn bots now is because we're YouTube famous. Air horn button.
Wah, 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 wah.
That air horn button sounded a lot like Bob and KZ, so I'm gonna hit it again. Air horn button.
They ended the conference with that, and it was the most jarring, ending.
Yeah,
where the trailer just cut and then boom,
They're like,
shoutcaster guy.
then
Right.
you'll check out this new game, and it's like, oh, cool, it's roller derby. Oh, they're gone. What? Where the fuck? It's like somebody stood up at the middle of a dinner and just put like, you didn't even see them do it, but they put the credit card to pay the bill, and then they just left.
yes.
They didn't even fucking stick around. The restaurant gets to keep that, I guess.
Not even like a sizzle reel to be like, this is all the stuff you saw for the past hour and a half.
Nope. They had to move right on to their Rainbow Six tournament.
They had to break on through to the other side.
So
we
what
didn't
are the
stick
ratings?
around for the Rainbow Six tournament. No. Bob, let's hear yours first.
This is tough.
Presentation. Let's start with
Presentation,
that.
okay.
That's easier to remember.
I'm gonna give it a C-. It was fine. Like, it wasn't just unacceptable outside of the Division 2 community spotlight and the orchestra at the beginning they pretended was iconic. Other than that, I was like, this is acceptable.
Okay.
I didn't hate anything.
Mm-hmm.
Games wise, oof. I don't want to play any of those. I won't legitimately sit down and play a single one. I'll try Champions. I have no confidence. I'll try Gods and Heroes or Gods and Monsters, whatever it is. But it'll probably be really bad. So it's going to get an F on that.
I'm going to start with games. Games, I'm going to give it an F, but it would have been an F- if not for this really, really cool looking series from the people who made Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Really excited
Definitely
to watch
video
that.
game.
Very good. It's content. It's all content. Also, there's movie Netflix, as this note says. That's all it says.
It's a division section.
I'm very excited about movie Netflix. And I have no confidence in God and Monsters, but I'm very excited for it. I want to see what that looks like. And Roller Champions, I will try. I'm gonna see if I can get that right after this.
Yeah.
I'm lying. I'm gonna sleep. Sleep sounds awesome.
Yeah, we have that Nintendo conference in the morning.
Yeah, fucking Nintendo. It's like, let's shine, and I'm like, fuck you.
At least I have high hopes. The highest
I'm trying to
hopes are
keep my
any of
hopes
these.
low.
That's fair.
This E3 is training me
Right, this E3 is rough.
to not salivate when I hear the bell of a conference. And presentation wise, I'm gonna give this a C plus.
Okay.
It would have helped a lot to have better games to present, but it didn't overstay its welcome on anything.
Yeah, we were in a maze of Tom Clancy, but that was okay.
The
That's
one
what they
moment where I felt like it was overstaying its welcome was the moment where they were showing off the series by the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia guy, where I'm like, move on. We got the joke.
were. Yeah.
We got the joke. Move on. That was it. That was like out of all of this. Also, it gets a minus on the presentation front because, yeah, the Tom Clancy stuff literally was befuddling. Like it really did feel like a fractal maze traveling through it.
It felt like I was walking through a fucking hall of mirrors.
Yes,
Right? Like, this is the worst it's ever been.
ever in
Like-
the entire history of man.
Like, I would prefer that one where they brought out the laser tag. Like, that was a better E3.
I feel like those videos James Rolfe does about like, here's the canon of the Frankenstein series, and this one he's Igor's brain in his body, but then he says this line, and that doesn't make sense with these other movies. So wait a second, does that mean that makes more sense than this fucking conference? That's how bad this
Fucking
was.
Tom Clancy timeline is more fucking confusing than the Zelda one.
By the end of it, I'm just like, so wait, does the roller derby girl have Tom Clancy's brain in it, and he's now Dead Sec Legion Des?
Is she in the mobile game too?
Is she in the mobile game too? No, she looks too much like a character.
Okay,
Sam
is this the
Fisher's the only
timeline where
character that-
Division Man succeeded or did Division Man fail? I don't know which
This is
branch
the one
we're
where
on.
John Bernthal met Bam.
It's the one where the Days Gone guy won, and he stopped the apocalypse.
Okay, and KZ, what's your rating for this? Give me games, give me conference.
All right, games giving it a D minus. I really, really liked the Watch Dogs stuff. I definitely want to play that. Gods and Monsters, I'm interested in, but they showed like nothing of it.
Mhm.
And I will try maybe the roller champions. thing. The rest of it, no interest in any of that at all. I'll give the presentation a C. There's a little bit too much show game talk, a little bit too long for me personally. But maybe a lot of it was just because the games were mostly uninteresting the entire time, so that really hampered it. However, they did bring a dog. You know what? C+. I like that dog. Bam Bam.
Phil, what's your ratings?
What? What's the problem, Dan?
In
There's
terms
no
of
problem,
games,
I'm
I'm gonna
tired.
give it. I'm gonna give it a D-. I'll buy Watch Dogs Legion when it's $20 or less. I'm sure as fuck not buying it at launch. I'll be playing
But of
Final
course
Fantasy
I can.
VII.
Yeah, every
Fuck you, I'm not
Ubisoft
falling for
game
that
is
again, asshole. I'll play Roller Derby. I'll play Gods and Monsters because they can't do bad Assassin's Creed combat with monsters involved. They have to try more.
I point to exhibit Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins.
Did those have big monsters as a core enemy type, or were they just weird bonus shit?
I'm pretty sure they were advertised as bosses in the main game. So, look, I don't have a 200 hour to chat.
Maybe I'll wait till week 2. For a presentation, C, it didn't offend me in any way. I started to become disoriented and confused and lose my identity in the Tom Clancy Hall of Mirrors, where I turn around and go, oh, you're just me, my reflection. Let's go. And then the reflection didn't match up to my movements, and I got scared. But I found my way out. I feel like that was a baseline presentation. It didn't excite me, but I also didn't crave death at any point.
Okay. So I guess we're ready to move on to the AMD conference. Now, normally this thing kind of gets shunted into the fucking PC conference, but AMD wanted their space because they're on top of it. So they did a separate conference this year. Vox is on top of it with these bots. Thank you so much, Vox. You're the best mod. You're the new sheriff in town. They did exactly what I fucking said they would do. They open up and they're like, did you know that Ryzen and Navi are powering the next generation PlayStation? It's true. They even have a picture of the PlayStation, which was fucking bold in my opinion. They have a giant slide of the PlayStation. They're like, also, our friends over at Microsoft announced their next generation console, which is powered with a custom-made Navi GPU and Ryzen CPU. And we are loving supporting all of our partners, but if you want to get some really, truly next-generation performance, we have these parts coming out soon. And I was like, they fucking did it. They're just like, we're in those machines. We'll sell you that shit now. Fucking buy it. But unfortunately, the first half of this conference, keep in mind, the new processors from AMD are incredible. We're talking, prior to this conference, all they had announced was the top of the line was $500 CPU that outperforms Intel's $1,300 or $1,200 CPU. That's how much kicking ass they're doing. This is the most on top of it AMD has been since I was in high school. That was not recent. So, they announced some stuff here, though. They announced stuff regarding the GPU. They announced performance stuff. They showed some metrics, and it's like, okay, cool. It's outperforming NVIDIA's, that tier of GPU, and it's a little bit cheaper. This is great. This is great. That was 37 years ago. Jesus Christ, John Schwando. No, it wasn't. I don't even think an Intel Pentium existed 37 years ago. One second. Let me think about that. No, it didn't. The fuck are you talking? I think CPUs were still 8-bit 37 years ago. Anyway, so they talk about that. They talk about the performance of the CPU and the GPU, and then they go, guess what, motherfuckers? There's an even higher end GPU. It's this. It costs $50 more, so for $500, you get this insane performance that outperforms the competitor, and that's cool. And then they're like, but that's not all, motherfuckers. We also have a new fucking CPU. We didn't announce it all leading up to this. It almost seems like we pulled this out of our ass at the last moment to dunk on Intel entirely. $750 CPU, literally outperforming $1,800 CPUs from Intel. 16 cores, 32 fucking threads, and almost 4 gigahertz base clock with 4.5 boost. It is fucking bonkers how powerful that motherfucking thing is, because it's not only this clock rate and this many cores, the single-threaded performance is better than Intel's for the first time fucking ever. Usually games would just run better on Intel because they had better single-threaded performance. But this is nuts. This is fucking bonkers. Do I really need 16 cores, though? That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. I need 16 cores. You probably do not. Are you putting up daily 4K 60 frame per second videos through an entire death march of a month? No. You could probably have a great experience with the 8-core one, which was something like $350, or the 12-core, which is 24 threads at $500. It's still an insane performance boost. That thing would kick the shit out of the PC we run Gigaboots on.
Which that was not built that long ago.
No, it was built at the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
It's just AMD showed up and they give a shit. Intel has been price gouging us for years, and AMD has been stumbling over their own fucking shoelaces for a decade. Something like that. Over a decade. So, AMD stuff looks solid. Okay, conference over, right? No, they actually announced something really fucking impressive. They decided they were going to invest in a technology that would literally just tell your game to optimize for input latency. Now, most people don't realize, but the number one reason pro gamers, competitive gamers like esports, Counter-Strike, whatever, run at really high frame rates is to reduce input lag. It's not about seeing more frames, because your eye's not going to notice a huge difference between 120 hertz and 240 hertz. At very least, you're not going to get additional information from the in-between frames that's going to help you in a competitive sense that's relevant.
Right, and a lot of TVs don't even go to 240.
Right. Well, gaming monitors is what they're using.
Right.
And those are up there now.
Okay.
But most of them cap around 144. This thing is, the driver level is just trying to remove input lag. And it's already in this testing phase. They show it on a number of games. Overwatch, fucking Counter-Strike. What other games were they? They did it on a huge number of games. They show it. And they show the difference between their thing in the normal driver mode and then this. And it's just chopping off, like, substantial gains. Like, it's the difference between the PS4 versions of these games we keep testing and the Xbox version. It's like almost a whole frame.
Where it was like 14 milliseconds for a lot of them.
Yeah. And that's substantial. So if you can imagine, if they can get this thing working, like, say, like our TV supports 120 hertz, KZ's TV supports 120 hertz. If you could activate that mode and run it in 120 hertz, especially on, like, say, this year's OLED, you could get input latency down to an insane extent. Like, fucking bonkers.
It's exciting because this is the tech that's in the next consoles. They
Right.
could have something like this implemented for both.
Right.
And that'd
Which
be
is
ideal.
incredibly helpful. The thought that, like, from the ground up, these next-gen consoles could be designed to have less input lag in them would be fantastic. I think that's more important than a true 4K image,
Yeah.
to me. Maybe. But yeah, I think that's a really cool tech. We're basically buying that GPU just to do a button to pixel on that mode. Also, it's a really powerful GPU, and AMD finally added the ability to encode video on the video card. So that way I could, in theory anyway, render our videos for Gigaboots on the video card using the scripting stuff we use. It's great for people who use OBS to encode stuff. It's great for people who, like, if you're recording in OBS, if you're streaming in OBS, if you're doing both simultaneously, if you're running a game and recording and streaming in OBS, this sort of thing helps. And that's super helpful. John Schwando says we could get fighting games that get sub 2 frames of input latency, including display latency. So, assuming you're talking 60 hertz, that would be 33.33 frames of input lag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a game other than Skullgirls. I could imagine getting that low.
Right.
Is there a version of Under Night on PC?
I think it's on PC, yeah.
Okay, so I think those two are the most likely candidates to get that number that low. And I do want to see if Skullgirls somehow chops off even more in latency with this driver. Because that would be really impressive. Oh yeah, Kohime Embu did actually perform better than both of those.
That's crazy.
It is.
That
It's
game looks like it's
hilarious.
made by people who have no idea what a game is.
And yet somehow
Right.
it is fantastic. But yeah, I think that's really exciting. And a great way to have AMD provide value through their GPUs that are meaningful to gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Which I appreciate that this is their version of ray tracing. Because one of these is practical.
Yeah, one of these is way more important than ray tracing.
One of these affects every game. The other one affects, I think the number's still 5.
Ray tracing is important.
How's your RTX card treating you? KZ, just so you
He
know,
doesn't know
what that is.
KZ, just so you know, $5 have been deposited into your account.
No, I just stared you down on this video feed and went, I don't know what to do. I'm so tired.
And the only thing I have to talk about other than the man, the myth, and the legend who showed up, they show a thing and they're like, we also have a new tool set for developers to make their games look even better than usual. It'll enhance the imagery and make details pop in it. And I'm like, that shit's artificial sharpening, isn't it? You increase the local contrast of the image on textures so that way they pop more, didn't you? That's what you did, didn't it? And then they show a road. They show, like, it's a racing game, and they show part of the pavement, and on one of them it pops more, and I'm like, that's fucking sharpening. If I wanted that, I could turn it on my TV. Why are you trying to do this to my video games? And then later they're like, here's Borderlands 3. Check out how it makes this texture pop more. And I'm like, that's what you're doing. You're using the fucking sharpening. I don't want it in my video game.
Looks Kino, just like all those filters and collections.
Yeah.
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 Super Eagle.
It looks like Super Eagle. The reverse of
Super
Super
Eagle's raw.
Eagle, where it just causes artifacting when nothing's there. Anyways, that's a neat tech. I'll check that out, I guess. But Borderlands 3 showed up, and I was like, oh, wow. That guy got from the PC conference over to this, that they're like, please welcome Randy Pitchford. And I'm like, oh, fuck! We thought we escaped him!
And he walks on the stage and starts to melt.
Now,
It
when
was
you
like
said
the
someone-
Terminator scene. His feet kept sticking to the ground, and he would keep ripping his legs off.
Ew. When you said someone like important came, I thought you were gonna say Greg Miller.
I would not call Greg Miller the man, the myth, or the legend, even if he paid me. Hey, Bob, you should probably make that account a mod.
Yes,
They
definitely.
could be the new sheriffs in town.
You're the new sex sheriff in town.
You gotta moderate the rest of them. We only want you here spamming.
Oh, man. But yeah, that graphics thing seemed lame as hell, but I'm sure some people would like it. And the input lag thing seems like some of the most important shit they're doing. Their CPUs sound amazing. I'm literally going to build a new rig later this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to aim for the 501 or the 750 because honestly, we'll use it.
Right.
I hit 100% CPU usage on that motherfucker. Like when we render shit out. Sophia with I am the sheriff of fuck.
Noted.
That's like fucking Silent Bob Strike Back. Anyway, the Borderlands 3 thing had me so nervous. Every time he led into a sentence that could be a nightmare, everyone in the room stopped breathing.
Right? We all had to just.
He's like,
You
I
hear
want
a
to.
pin drop.
He's like, I just want to take a second and talk about something, and everyone's like, oh no. And he's like, with the optimized technology with AMD, this game's gonna run great. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Fuck. Shit. Oh, Fuck.
Did anybody find a flash drive? I lost my flash drive. If you find my flash drive, please tell me.
There were seriously like 3 different sentences that led it way too perfectly into a nightmare.
Right.
It's like he's playing fucking chicken with his own fucking PR department. He's like, I'll do it, motherfucker. I'll do it.
Let me tell you my opinion on the age of Ka. And then the PR department starts to have an aneurysm. He's like, Conan, that game I like.
John Schwando says, please contact me on this web zone if you found my flash drive, and I'll mail you a pizza roll. God, I wish Randy Pitchford sounded like Plinkett. Then he would be like, look at that dumb bastard, and we would all laugh.
He'd be
Instead,
almost
it's like
enjoyable, and that isn't acceptable.
Right, no, it's not acceptable.
I'd be willing to ignore the trail of slime he leaves.
He would if he was leaning into Plinkett, he would be leaning into the weird murder porn part of Plinkett, where he's just like, I found this cat, get in there. He's just shoving the cat into his workstation. I learned the game to render faster.
I mean, he basically did that the other day.
Okay, we're
allegedly.
gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
Jesus Christ!
It wasn't allegedly.
And Jeff Keighley was also there at the AMD conference. It was like, hey, I'm here to present some games like Borderlands 3, and then him and Pitchford had a stare down. Pitchford, for some reason, is just like doing the weirdest fucking stance. He's just like, and he's like behind Jeff and on the left, just looming. And I'm like, Jeff Keighley's such a professional.
Yes, Jeff Keighley's always able to deal with anything. It's kind of amazing.
I'm pretty sure Jeff Keighley would stay cool in the movie Saw. I'm pretty sure he would figure it out without showing any fear on his face.
He survived the VGX.
He'll be good. And that's basically it. I feel like overall that conference had virtually no games, so there's no point in ranking it on that. Expectations wise, it went better than I expected. You don't expect a company to announce a brand new CPU at something that takes place 2 weeks after a really important computing event.
Right.
And the tech they came up with is seriously relevant, I feel, to everyone. Like, it's not a weird shader mode. It's not a weird, like, we found a way to make your thing look neat. It eats all the performance, like Tress effects or PhysX or all that shit. It's just neat, and I think it's moving it forward, and I really hope, like, you know, the next-gen consoles do build that tech straight into it. I'm very excited for that. These CPUs look really strong. I knew it was likely I was going to build a new PC later in the year before this conference. After this conference, when they announced the $750 CPU, and then immediately slammed their dick on the table by going, okay, let's cut to the footage where we broke a world record with the fucker. And then they cut to footage of people pouring liquid nitrogen to keep the CPU cool while they fucking break a world record with it. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good conference. I'm gonna give it a B, because it could be better. It could be way better. They could have announced all this shit here. They could have had on-stage bullshit like 2 PCs set up. Let's. But okay, you know what? I'm gonna move it up to a B+. You want to know why?
Why?
When they cut to that footage of them breaking that world record, they cut Inception-sounding music to Cinebench render scores, and I fucking laughed my ass off. It was like 12,874 single-threaded Cinebench score, and it's like do, and I was losing it. I was losing my fucking mind. This is a good conference, so B+.
I legit missed most of this conference getting pizza.
He got the part of the conference which it was them showing slides they had made 2 weeks ago and shown off. So Bob's stuff was just like literally no new news, but it was new to him,
right?
Kind of.
And then I saw the very end, which was kind of neat. It seemed fine. Like, I'll give it a B, sure.
Yeah. Do the AMD challenge. Which PC do you like more? This one's making a weird buzzing sound. Yeah, that's how you know it's rendering. All right. I don't like that.
Keighley tried to give what's the name of the president of AMD?
You see that? Lisa Sue?
Yeah, Lisa Sue tried to give Lisa Sue a statue or an action figure of herself as a superhero.
That's real. Bob's not making that up.
What?
There was a very weird moment at the end of the conference where he's like, where Jeff Keighley goes, you know, Lisa Sue, people think of you as such like a hero in this industry that they actually made this action figure of you dressed up as a superhero. And then he's holding it and showing it to the camera. And he's like, here you go. And he gives it to her. And she's like, oh, this is, okay, this is awkward. I'm just going to hand this back to you. And Jeff Keighley's like, okay. And she's like, and yeah, thank you all for coming out. See you later, Jeff. And Jeff's like, all right. She was very weirded out by it. It was very funny. But yeah, overall, it wasn't that bad. Usually you get dog shit out of AMD. They're like, we put our CPU in a weird triangle PC. It's a pyramid, motherfuckers, made of fucking aluminum. It is never going to be sold anywhere. We just did it for the show.
Isn't that exciting?
And everyone's like, please stop talking. And then it goes on for 7 more minutes. But hey, Bob, I don't know how to deal with this kind of funny game stuff. Feel, KZ, do you guys have ideas? Because it's just a nonstop fucking barrage of bullets.
Yeah, I think that the best...
There's 4 games I looked at that I understood what they were and would want to play, so I could just list those off.
I circled them what I felt was important.
Okay, so you go ahead, Feel, and then we'll move on to our circles.
Okay, Trigger Witch looks all right. It's a twin stick shooter where you play as a witch.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
very cartoony looking.
Yes.
The concept is everybody has magic, but you discovered guns. So it's just like this little cartoon witch blowing away mushroom monsters and shit.
Unending Nightmare 2 says, I was not about to subject myself to any more Greg Miller. I absolutely wouldn't have, but I did it for this show, for you.
The people.
You
For
have
you,
to
the
you
people.
have to embrace the power of witchcraft and triggery. That's the thing they said.
Trigger Witch sounds like somebody's rant Sona, but we don't have to dwell on that.
Oh
I'm glad to
no!
bring it up.
Another important game is Skatebird.
Skatebird is pretty cool. Tosha's very excited for Skatebird. She sent me a video of it back in May.
Might be
That
game of the show.
might be the highlight of Tony Hawktober. No hawks in that game. Just
Maybe
tiny,
they're unlockable.
tiny burbs.
Maybe you get the hawk eventually.
I like how everything is made of like crafts, like the rails are pencils held up on like block erasers.
Yeah, a lot of the half pipes are like magazines that are leaning up against the wall like that. That was neat. Lots of neat details.
Then there was a Brave Earth Prologue, which is a very blatant classic Castlevania clone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the name of that thing.
Yes.
I
only-
watched it,
made
but-
by the creator of I Want to Be the Guy.
Yeah, that was the red flag of that, honestly.
That dude has
It
been
looked-
making that game for like 6 years.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
I want to play it.
I've been following it passively for a very long time.
It has character designs that make me happy because they look and not except for the last guy who's just guts with a different cut with a color palette swap. That's not that
You're dropping out like crazy. No one can understand what you're saying. But you said something about you thought the character design was good outside
the
of the
last
guts.
guy outside of the last guy who looks like guts with a color swap.
So this is what we go through every week, and we have no idea how to make Discord stop it. But yeah, we got what you were saying. I like how many characters had the last name Cruz.
Right? It was kind of funny.
There's
And-
2 of them. I assume they're siblings.
First name Trevor for one of them.
Yeah,
The
Trevor.
references are not subtle in the least.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm skeptical. I mean, I'm always that person where it's like, hey, we made a spiritual successor to blank, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna hate it, right?
Right?
Why have you done this to me?
I thought
Give me it. Give me your fucking trash.
Give
I
me your
hate
phone.
the witch, they did a really neat thing with the art. When she crouches, she literally like sits on the side of the level, so her legs are hanging off over the front of the level.
Nice.
And
That's
I was
pretty
like,
good.
that was neat.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I think it might be better than Curse
And
of
the
the Moon,
last
but I don't
one
know.
was Astalon: Tears of the Earth, which is a Metroidvania, and it seems to be more inspired by that one Dragon Slayer.
You talking about fuck, what is it called? The one on the NES that actually
Legacy
came
of
over.
the Wizard.
Legacy of the Wizard.
Dragon
yeah.
Slayer 4 Drassel.
Yeah.
That's specifically what I'm thinking, was because you can
Mhm.
switch. You can switch between the 3 characters at certain points, and apparently you need all of them to get through the game.
Yeah, Legacy of the Wizard's really tight. My grandfather actually owned that, so I played that from a very young age. In Japan, known as Dragon Slayer 4. Yeah. You know, you said that was all the games that were highlights for you?
Yeah, that's the only ones I highlight.
We actually
I have
wrote
one.
down a game we thought would be a highlight for you. At least it's written here. It says Monster Prom 2, parentheses for feel. I don't know how that ended up happening, but that's on this paper. I don't know. But you must have just forgotten that, so. Bob, was there
That's
some...
so ironic.
I know, right? Anyway, what about Raw Men? Let's talk about Raw Men.
Okay, my entire chat assaulted me when that appeared, saying, "Did they make that for you?"
They might have.
Yeah, there was a game that I saw that made me think of you, which was it was like the wave race looking thing that had Tony Hawk mechanics on it.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, okay, I'm interested, but then like we moved on to another game, so I didn't really have enough time to.
Yeah, everything. This is 60 games in like 30 minutes. It was absurd.
No, it was 60 games in an hour.
Okay, it was 6.
So it was
yeah.
1 a minute the whole time, and some things got more time.
Right. So a lot of things were
Some things
literally
got
like
8 seconds.
Yeah, 8 seconds.
And that honestly, that one he just talked about was one of them.
right.
I feel like we should describe Raw Men, honestly, before we move on, because Raw Men is such a fucking.
I described it as Dad Bod Splatoon.
Dad Bod Splatoon is what Bob called it. Dr. Aggro said cooking Papa because you walk around as a nude man pouring soup everywhere and fucking up. Weirdly enough, there were half pipes. That was the part where
Right.
that was the most confusing element of that whole thing, is that it was literally a skate park in the middle of this village, and I'm like,
And they weren't nude. They were all wearing aprons.
Jesus Christ. Anyways,
You know, that's a very compelling argument, Bob. I'd like to see you try to make it to the police.
yeah.
hey, it works for that one anime character.
Yes. Food Wars is pretty great.
I'm looking at this. I'm trying.
Let's see.
We've got
I think
literally every game written.
like feel Superliminal. What was that one? I circled it because I thought it was cool looking.
I'm trying to remember. It's so hard to remember. There were too many games.
Right. There was
It's
an
almost
overload.
like this was a fucking mistake.
Right. This doesn't do anyone any good
Huh.
if it's this many.
Strange.
If you like, the whole idea is to get it out there.
We don't even have time to write a note. We just have enough time to write the fucking name.
Right.
It was to the point where I thought of a system a little too late where we would just screen cap each one and it would generate a file. Superliminal was the perspective game. So if you lifted a thing up
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it looked kind of big because you were holding it high, you would let go and it would be further away and be absolutely massive.
Right.
And then you could walk into it because it started as a tiny playhouse. You drop it and it's now huge. You walk into there and then the hallways in the house extend far beyond the boundaries of the actual thing. There are a bunch of things like that, really messing with the perspective. And I liked it. And the one part I didn't like about it is that it made me think about the things Psychonauts 2 did and how they're not as ambitious.
right.
And that,
Did you ever play Antechamber, Dan?
yeah. Yeah, I loved Antechamber. It was yet another moment where Eric would just spit random sounds because it fucked with his brain and he's not good with that.
Great.
It is great. It's incredible even. Didn't it end up supporting VR at some point, or am I wrong on that? I could be wrong on
I
that.
think it did. I feel
Okay.
like it did.
But yeah, Bob, is anything else hopping out at you?
There's just too much.
How about you, KZ? Do you have other things to talk about?
I liked the part where they didn't allow Tim Schafer to speak.
That's always a plus.
I appreciate that bit.
It was a
But
funny
I mean,
bit.
he's owned by Microsoft now, so if he tries to talk out of turn, they just start shocking him.
That's what made it extra funny because he was like going to talk about indie games, and I'm like, wait a minute, he can't do that anymore. And then,
You failed at being indie and then got bought.
yeah, and that's why this
Tim
predicted
Schafer's-
it and didn't have
Tim Schafer's hand with a sock puppet on it starts to raise up, and a Microsoft employee's just like, take the shot.
Before we move on to the next conference, do you want to do the Pod Lords? I guess we gotta rate this first.
We gotta
but
rate this first. Hey, Bob, what do you give it for games?
Too many games. There are probably some great ones in there. I couldn't tell. I have to give it a C.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to share that because just playing the odds, I remember seeing a bunch of things and being interested,
Right?
but I also saw a lot of things and wasn't interested, and it all went too fast. So C.
Yeah. And then presentation, it was basically unintelligible. So
Yeah.
it's like a D or a D minus or an F. I feel like D minus because I gave an F to like things that were just offensive. This wasn't offensive. It just couldn't do what it wanted to because it was too fast.
F plus because I think it's functionally it's functionally like, you know, it's dysfunctional. There's the word. Like it doesn't actually perform the purpose that it's there to do. Like they feel like they're helping indies, but when it's a struggle to remember anything by the end of it, that's really not helping anyone. I feel like I'm frustrated by how quick they went past everything. It would have been more helpful for them to cut out a third of them and just give that time to the remainder.
Yeah, if they curated it and it was like, we think these are really good. We'll do another thing next or in a month or so.
Also, you know what? Maybe I would have given it just an F, but we'll stick with the F plus because that last game they ended on didn't even look good, but they played it up a bunch because they knew the guy.
That was lame, yeah.
That was so lame. That game looked
They
laughably bad.
They said that was they're like, what is the smallest, most inexperienced indie thing we know? Like they straight up said that.
Mhm.
And then you got an indie game with the big Think Dimension font as for the title.
Uh-huh.
And I fucking lost it.
What was it? Adams Ascending or something? I know it's
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Yep, Adam's Ascending.
Yeah, that name's bad, and it using that font's hilarious. To be fair, though, he embossed it and used stroke. He did both.
Yeah, he did. I
did
saw
both.
all of those effects. I went, yeah, I'm used to those. Chisel hard.
Yeah, chisel hard. Chisel hard, gamers. Yeah, I feel like that thing was laughably bad. Like, we would play it on a What Indie Hell and be surprised it didn't make us feel pain. Because a lot of What Indie Hell does. Like, defeat platformer. Bob's blocked out all of What Indie Hell.
Right,
So if I mention anything other than the cat game where the cat goes for your cereal, no, Luca, no. Bob will remember it on screen, and you'll watch him hurt again.
I don't need the hurt.
Bob,
He knows hurt.
you're going to learn about the hurt.
We should.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna give it. KZ, what are you gonna give this conference?
As much as I want to like praise it for that bird, I'm just giving it a C. It had a couple of things I was interested in, but I doubt I'll play many of these ever.
Mm-hmm.
Presentation wise, give it like a D minus because it wasn't offensive. But you did make a good point that I don't remember any of these games, and if I can't, despite the fact of me being entertained through them getting through things quickly, it wasn't memorable. They didn't do the thing it set out to do properly. aside from just dump content.
Yeah. Okay, so Phil, what's your opinion on this?
I can't rank it on presentation because I didn't watch it till it was over, and I mashed skip 5 seconds every single moment that wasn't a game.
What if I told you that was experience-wise identical to watching it in real time?
No, I saw clips of Greg Miller's face. It wouldn't have been exactly the same. He was there.
You know what?
I would've
Greg
had to
Miller's
hear that.
raw.
Here's the weirdest part of all this. They kept popping up with the names of the eateries and places they were in front of and eating at.
Yeah, he went, I'm loving it, and there's the Archist in the background.
Well, it literally had a pop-up, and it was like, here's the name of this restaurant. Here's the name of this barbershop. They betrayed Tim Schafer once.
It's a bit.
He did. They don't like paying for things, and that got them a lot of free stuff.
And also, like, the part where they filmed them through windows, but apparently didn't have polarizing filters,
was
so
really
that way
bad.
you could see
But
them.
Hey, we could hear them.
It was a really great shot of the car behind the cameraman driving past.
Yes.
For games, I'm going to give it a D because there's a couple things I liked, but most of the games I couldn't figure out what they were in the less than 30 seconds you showed me.
Yeah. It was a mess.
I like the point where they were just in Greg's kitchen.
I don't even remember which one that was.
And
What
it was
hap-
one where you could just see his fridge in the background and his Superman statues on top of the fridge.
All right. I'm gonna go pull up the pod lords.
Cool.
Maybe we should take.
Well, that's it. We're all done, right? I think that's a wrap.
Oh, we have
That's-
the most important thing left, KZ. The
Yeah, we're gonna-
descent of the God Emperor who saved this fucking E3.
We're gonna take a quick
Oh.
break. One moment, everybody. And we're back. I have
Oh.
to read them from over here.
Dan, you fool.
What? Why am I a fool now?
Pod Lords.
Oh my god, the Pod Lord!
Oh no!
Over the break, I forgot!
Where are the Pod Lords?
I don't know. They probably lord over Podmen.
Oh, that makes sense.
It really does.
Why
if you
would
think about it.
we thank people like that?
Because if we didn't
If
have
we do,
pod,
they won't take our bodies.
if we didn't have pod people, then who would be playing Brawlhalla? The
Is
Pod
Carrot Top
Lords.
a Pod Lord?
No, but female Carrot Top might be.
Ooh.
The Pod Lords for this episode of the Big Think Dimension are Danny Richardson, Notgak, Ely Broyles, Bam Madrigal, Vox with an AU, Crimson, Corey Brown, and Dank Mormons. Thank you very much, Pod Lords. And then to compensate for the lack of music, I'll now hum a little bit of it while the rest of you thank the pod.
Thank you, Pod Lords. You guys are gonna thank them?
Pod Lords.
Thank you, Pod Lords.
Thank you, Pod Lords. So we got some news! Casey, go ahead and take it away.
We sure do.
Good job.
Oh, Discord is a wonderful program that always leads to wonderful things. Hey, everybody. The Square Enix press conference occurred this evening.
It happened to all of us.
It happened to all of us in a special way. They
It was a
opened
surprise
it up.
attack.
Yep. They opened it up. Nice theater this time, not a Nintendo Direct style video. They opened with the Final Fantasy VII start screen, but it had a remake on the bottom. And then they selected it. And then they got going with a little intro sequence, and then they started showing off the game. I think up front, I should mention the format of the game since they went into that a little bit through the translator. This is going to be a multi-part epic. The first part that's coming out on March 3rd will be covering Midgar, but the game has been expanded and it's so big that it's going to come out on 2 Blu-ray discs like Red Dead Redemption 2 did.
Which insane.
I want to get this out of the way up front. I'm not taking the
Yeah.
L on this not being multiple parts until they release the second part.
Bob's like, don't worry, KZ will get hit by a truck by the time the second one comes out.
They literally haven't put part 1 or anything like that on the freaking box.
You are correct. Now, I respect your hustle of ignoring press releases and saying, until I see a trailer.
Until they
title.
actually financially are able to achieve that.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, multiple parts. First one's Midgar. They've expanded on it, which you were able to see.
Well, actually, I looked this up because your information countered mine, and I figured I would snipe you by now reading a news article on this since your news countered mine. This news article agrees with what I heard, saying the city of Midgar just takes up 1 Blu-ray. It's not the entire first 2 discs.
They said explicitly, part 1 is just Midgar.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Enjoy this segment with them. I'll be back.
Oh no, Dan.
Hey,
You guys.
hey everybody. Again, I'm your moderator for this segment of the Big Think Dimension. The lovely lad KZ. The release of the Final Fantasy VII remake is a nightmare.
Yes.
Because nobody knows what it is, even when they put out a press release saying exactly what it is.
They put out
They're like,
a
"Yo,
press
but what
release,
is
and then
it?"
they put out a game that's named Final Fantasy VII Remake, and nothing else along with that. It says it's part of a
True.
multi-part saga, doesn't really expand
True,
on that.
they don't want to confuse people, but they also don't want them to ask any questions.
They want to confuse people. They want people to be confused and angry after they beat the game. They don't want them to go in knowing that.
I assume there will be some sort of communication as we get closer, because there's I can just see the disaster
Yes.
of that happening by then. But yeah, they said part 1 is Midgar, which they have fleshed out in different ways, which you can see in the new trailer they put out, where they had like the motorcycle sequence that looked
Which that's
really
the
cool.
end of Midgar, isn't it?
No, that's a new one, because Jessie was on the back of the bike, and
Yeah.
presumably that's, you helping her out. She gives you a materia and all of that. So they're definitely just expanding on those characters and that world. They did a gameplay demonstration, which looked really good. It's action based. You're mashing the button to do combos, not holding the button. You're mashing that button
Right.
to do physical combos, and you're building an ATB bar that goes automatically, but dealing damage raises it, and you can pay that bar to do different stuff like spells via materia, using items, using your special abilities. But whenever you want to use it, you can go into a tactical mode where the game slows down and you can use the traditional Final Fantasy menu, and you can like thumb through it, or use shortcuts if you want to go for something more fast paced.
Yeah, it looked like fun. I'm excited to play that. That's a neat way. That we were watching it, and me and Dan was like, "This looks like they did 13, but right." Because a lot of problems
Yeah, because
13
they
came
have the
from.
stagger bar on
Yeah.
all the enemies, so you can build that up and then wail on them once you complete it. It also looks like the wait mode in Final Fantasy 15 done right, where if you enabled that, if you're never moving at all, it would just freeze the whole screen. But this makes sense and feels cohesive, I think some would say.
Right. It seems like it's all part of one combat system instead of just a random thing you tacked on, like in the wait mode.
Yeah, because there's also character switching in the game, but you can also just, in the tactical mode, say, I want Barrett to do his move right now, but I still want to control Cloud and do combos, and then you're just queuing up his next move. So it seems like a clever way to satisfy people that are like, I don't like action. I want strategic, like going into menus, and this seems like a not super intrusive, but a fun way to satisfy everybody and also make it feel different than the other action RPGs that they've been putting out.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's just another Kingdom Hearts or anything. It honestly, I'm pretty excited. It seems like a really neat system.
They showed the entire first boss fight, and boy was that nuts.
Yeah, they went kind of crazy with it.
Multiple phases to the Guard Scorpion. Now a lot of banter between the characters that I thought was pretty good. They've completely recast all the characters. They put out a cast list at the same time, and it looks like they picked up Cloud and Sephiroth's voice actors from the show Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I saw that.
And CW shows for some of these.
It seems really strange.
That's Final Fantasy VII energy right there.
But yeah, all the voice acting sounded pretty good. The combat just looks really great. The fact that you're switching characters on the fly. Like they showed, you have 4 playable characters at this point, and all of them look really cool.
Well,
Barrett, multiple times they show them switching to Barrett to shoot something Cloud can't reach. I wonder if there's going to be stuff like that with other characters. Like if you switch to Tifa and something isn't armored, she can just like punch her fist through its chest and rip it in half because it isn't armored, and she can just do a ton of damage and Cloud does less.
I imagine it'd be some kind of the reverse of that, where she could break an armor. That's what I would guess, just because, blunt force.
Yep.
And she does have the charging punch thing, so that's neat. So just mashing the button, she can Hold
she
the
was
button.
going in real hard. It was really great to finally both see her slightly updated design, but also see her combat. But overall, like, the character switching is really cool. The seeing a bunch of different areas realized in the remake style, like the Shinra Tower looked especially great, and the Airbuster boss toward the end, which, if you people noticed that Cloud has a completely different sword there, so they do model the different weapons, so you can just have really, really stupid weapons on him during major cutscenes.
Yeah, it's good. It would have been pretty sad if it was just like, yep, he just has his Buster Sword the whole game.
Yeah. Thankfully, they're gonna have that different stuff, and you can see the materia off on their weapons and everything. So
Also, they added a motorcycle scene in because they're going to give more context other than just Cloud seeing a motorcycle in the Shinra HQ and going, "I'm gonna ride that."
also, because they are like, we can't.
Do we know that they're gonna add more motorcycle scenes? Because I assume that was
they-
just that
they
scene,
Saw
right?
it. It was no.
that was
wasn't
an
that scene
earlier one.
because there was a character on his bike that is dead at the time of the one in the Shinra HQ.
Spoilers.
Well, it's for the first 3 hours of a 20-year-old game.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, they showed you end up helping one of the characters with the motorcycle, and then she's like, "Thank you, you saved me. So here's this materia." So they're definitely expanding on a lot of.
I'm gonna say something really funny that I noticed. That scene happens in the original, but you know how Cloud saves her? She gets her foot caught in a grating and twists her ankle as they're escaping the reactor, and she's completely helpless, and he has to pull her foot out of the grating in the original. In this, he saves her with a motorcycle fight. I think it's a little more respectful to her.
By the way, you're robotifying, so I don't know how easy it is for you to fix that midstream, but
KZ could try changing the server.
oh, yeah,
South.
yeah. If you want to try
Okay,
that.
I'll do what I can for you.
Welcome to our lives. Welcome to our lives. Running this podcast.
All right, I
Welcome
have moved us, so maybe he's better.
Am I better?
A little bit.
A little bit. Before it was the true cyber demon had awoken. Now it's only slight. But it makes sense that they're going to do more motorcycle segments, because they're going to make that's going to be a big set piece. The end of Midgar's the big scene with that and the big dumb robot. So adding one or two more to get your mileage out of that makes sense.
I hope that they're side quests or something, because there's something nice about just the set piece that has a special gameplay mode you only use once. Like, it's a big move.
Yeah, I feel
it's
like there's going to
expensive
be
to
a
do,
lot,
but it's
a
cool.
lot of side quests and a lot of motorcycle related stuff would be neat.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
that they're using a figure for that. Like the special edition is him on the motorcycle. For
Right, but I
player
mean, that's an
guy
iconic
figure.
scene in general. Well, there's posters and wall scrolls of him on the motorcycle from Final Fantasy VII original.
I mean, yeah.
They're gonna push. They made a mobile game like a few years ago that's just Final Fantasy VII G Bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's really iconic.
But that's about it in terms of.
Okay, well, it's time for everyone to insert the feet in their mouths. You guys ready? You ready? KZ, how long is Final Fantasy Remake that ships on March 3rd, 2020?
Okay, let me think about this. Okay.
Now, Bob, if you arrive at a conclusion much sooner, feel free to go ahead. But I don't know. KZ always tries to get us with the prices right.
I
stuff,
know. So that I feel like we make him do it first this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. That's completely fair. I think if you're just going through it, if you're just going through it and you pick up a side quest every now and then, but it's definitely not your big focus, and you're just going through the main campaign, I feel like it'll be 14 hours. 14 or 15 hours, something like that. Because it's an action game still. So I feel like if you're mainlining it, it'll be something like that.
So, Bob, when it's 14 hours long, do you think that causes a huge lack of sales and then part 2 never comes out and thus you're proven right?
I worry that yes.
Bob, how long do you think it is?
I think it's going to be basically exactly along Kingdom Hearts. It'll probably run 20 hours for first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you try and get everything, more like the 30-hour range.
I think I'm tired enough that I've warped reality because I, for some reason, thought a Kingdom Hearts game was 14 hours.
No, you just turned into one of those assholes.
Like, I waited 18 years for this.
Oh, God.
KZ, or sorry, Feel, how long do you think it is?
I'm gonna say if you do a normal playthrough, you don't go out of your way to do everything, but you do occasional things. I'm gonna say it's 25 hours. Doing everything gets you 40. I think it's probably bigger than Kingdom Hearts 3 because it's on 2 Blu-rays, and some of the environments they've shown already look enormous. Like the lobby of Shinra HQ looks gigantic.
Yeah, but it's on 2 Blu-rays because it's so much prettier than Kingdom Hearts. Like, you just look at it and just be like, oh, wow, there's a lot more texture work here.
I do not think that this game is shorter than Kingdom Hearts 3's main story.
Plus
I
the
thought you
combat
said it was
looks
14
slower.
hours. I'm pretty sure that 14 hours is shorter than...
and then you heard what I said after that.
Like,
Nah, that's not how this works. You went first, you said a number, that number sucks, you're stuck with it.
No, I'm
Hearts
not.
3
I'm not
is like
stuck with
20
it.
to
Yes,
30
you
hours.
fucking
Look, all you need to do to win KZ is do a speed run.
With them feeding you screen clears, Kingdom Hearts 3 is still pretty chunky. And I don't think you're going to be like, I press L2, then triangle, everything dies in this game.
So this game is going to be... What was your number again? You said 24?
20 hours and then 30 if you do everything. You go
Okay.
try to do that.
And then Feel said what? What was your number, Feel?
25 if you as a normal playthrough, and if you do everything, it'll be 40.
So I was leaning towards 22 if you do like a quest or two, like, you know, not a comprehensive amount of quests,
Right.
you know, because that was the bar being established by KZ for his 14-hour time he gave. So I was thinking 22 with that.
No, I updated my thing.
Did someone hack
made me
in
really tired
and
by wasting our podcast time talking about AMD, so I needed to update that.
I didn't realize someone hacked in and said a wrong number for KZ. KZ, what's your new number? That is totally brave.
Oh, I'm gonna make the brave bet of 75 hours.
Oh, wow. KZ is a brave man.
I only did one side quest. Problem, it was an entire campaign.
You see, Dan, I feel like you'll be more comfortable with this choice because no matter which one you make canon, I lose.
No, it's fine. I want to know your...
Just sit in that shit in our hallway. You'll get to 75 hours.
See, for the content, I want you to stick your foot in your mouth because that's the show we run. But as your friend, I'm curious what your actual expectation is once you removed yourself from that weird spiritual cave that Yusuke like was flayed apart in, and he lost his mind.
Yeah, both Blu-ray discs went into my chest, and I was screaming in horrible pain.
Good lord. Where does the motorcycle go?
Yeah, I think it'll be like 25, 26 hours. It's going to be longer than Kingdom Hearts 3 was because upon thinking about it for more than 5 seconds, because my first way of thinking about it was, all right, well, if I let's play this 30 minutes or one hour, divide this, I'm so fucking tired. Is there a donut over there? And then I came up with 14.
I don't know how you got 14.
Upon thinking about it,
KZ's like,
that
it only...
that boss
like,
fight was really long.
KZ's like, let's see, Tony Hawk 3 only takes 3 hours to beat. This is this much better than Tony Hawk 3.
I at one point owned Tony Hawk 1 on the Nintendo 64. The cartridge was blue. There's a green motif in Final Fantasy 7.
Here's the thing. I don't expect this to be as long, like, as Kingdom Hearts 3. I think even if you do everything in it, it won't be as long as doing everything in Kingdom Hearts 3 in a normal playthrough. Not like, I know exactly what I'm doing sort of thing. You know,
Right.
not a retread. I think the 2 Blu-rays comes from a shitload of pre-rendered videos connecting highly scripted cutscenes, like set pieces. I mean, you saw
It's
that
at least
boss
12
battle.
bouncers.
Yes.
You saw the shot going over the entire city? Suck
Yes.
my dick. That ain't real fucking time.
Yeah, not Unreal, bro.
No. That is not real time on a PS4. What if it's on a PS5?
Well, yeah. Well, of course, that isn't real time. That's just some cool little CG thing. They got to remake the classic intro.
I do have to
Right.
say that I watched this and I'm just like, realistically, I'm far too impatient to wait, 7 more months. But I'm like, this is going to be this game will be a point higher on the PS5 because it's gonna fucking load out the ass.
Oh, yeah. See, and that's actually what I was going to bring up, too. Luckily, the cutscenes are going to cover it, right? It's going to cover up the loading because you're going to be listening to, Tifa or whatever talk about something, or Barrett and you talk about the next thing, and that's going to be a pre-rendered video. But, like, I think that, like, for repeat playthroughs, you're going to want to play this on PS5. Just anything to help the loading.
Yeah.
I wonder, since it's a bit more of an action game, whether or not it will have difficulty modes on it.
I assume they'll try and do
It'd be
something
weird
like
if it
that.
didn't.
It would be unfortunate to people who like Final Fantasy VII and are just plain bad at games if it doesn't have a better mode for them.
Right.
Also, as someone who played through basically every Kingdom Hearts on dumbass baby mode, hey, people who are bad at games, fuck your egos, just play on easy, it's fine. The enjoyment people who are really shit at games get out of games a lot of the time, and I'm specifically talking about journalists and friends I know, is the plot and the experience. And you don't need to sit there and select normal on every game to be like, I'm going to find out if it's good. Get halfway through, get owned and never beat it. Just fucking select easy. Then, if you want to feel the challenge, go back on a normal mode. There's no fucking shame in that. Fuck, man. Shit.
No, can
I'd
never
like-
play a game twice.
All these games have had easy mode since 13, so I think it would be ridiculous if it didn't.
I can't fucking stand the people who sit there and they're like, what do you mean the hard mode is the mode it was designed for? You should have designed it for normal. Like, sorry, I designed my game for the average person, not fucking alpha gamers like you. Fucking people who don't.
Audacity of this bitch.
The people who don't understand that. It's like, if the world was just you, your point is salient and it makes sense.
Unfortunately, there's these other people.
The world's a wide range of different skills and talents and what people enjoy in games. And quite frankly, a lot of games aren't good enough to deserve a hard mode. That's fine.
I want to say one more thing before we move on. I think it's really funny that people in chat are like, it's just like Final Fantasy 13. That was planned as 3 games. It's like, that's the least planned as 3 games game I've ever seen in my
No,
life.
that was not planned as 3 games. They were like, Toriyama, why did you make so many expensive, high-quality assets of this lightning girl? God damn it, you have to make 2 more games with these characters, so we didn't waste that money.
Well, not only that, 13 original took forever to make. It was like the longest development Final Fantasy ever when it came out.
In 13.2,
And then-
retcons the ending to make 13.2 happen.
They're like, if you watch that ending cutscene for another minute, you would have seen all the bad stuff that just happened.
And then 13.3 was a completely different game in development by Tri-Ace. I almost said Atlas, but yeah, Tri-Ace. That just
3 Atlas.
was changed, and it's ugh. But it's fine.
I think the reason some people mention the trilogy thing is they did that in 2015, back when they had like nothing to show, and they said it's gonna be multiple games. Think of the 13 games in terms of how big they'll be.
I mean,
Mostly because they didn't want people thinking it's going to be a 3-hour episodic thing, which, you know.
and that's
people
the
still
thing.
think.
Like, everyone assumes that if we talk this way about 13, that we fucking hate 13. I told Bob as soon as this thing was done, I was like, and he mentioned my thoughts earlier of like, that looks like 13 made correctly. They should take this and fucking go redo 13, which is going to be a very unpopular opinion on this podcast. But let me tell you, as someone who had to fucking deal with the combat system in 13, how frustrating it is to be like, hey, I'm your ally. Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm just going to walk over here to the boss. I'm your healer. I'm your healer. This is good plan. What's up, boss boy? You want to fucking tackle me? And I'm just like, bitch, calm down.
We got some brilliant AI.
Stay the fuck back. You are a healer. I am an alpha gamer.
The caucasity of this AI.
He fucking killed me.
Lightning yelling that she's an alpha
So-
gamer is really hilarious.
Does she sound like Alex Jones when she says it? Yes. No, she sounds like
Yes.
Nina Struthers. That's what she sounds like. But yeah, so yeah, it'd be great if 13 got fixed. I feel like the crazy person in this room because I heard everyone around me be like, yeah, that $300 version, that's a lot of money. I'm like, did they not fucking see Cloud on the motorcycle? Like, I don't fucking understand. This ain't even a fucking conversation.
Oh, I
That's
don't think
Cloud.
it's an insane amount of money.
That's a Cloud on the fucking
It's a
motorcycle.
Play Arts Kai figure.
That's Cloud on a motherfucking motorcycle.
Yeah, no,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
it is very tempting.
I didn't know. No, it's not that it's not that it's tempting. It's happening. This is fate. I don't get to choose whether or not I'm buying that thing. It's not like they're gonna roll around to 7 again.
Well,
All right,
they're
I'll
technically
go
supposed to do it
pre-order
2
it
more
now.
times.
So that's not rolling around to 7 again. That's rolling around to the rest of 7. They're not gonna be like, here's the
struggle.
motorcycle again, even though we're on the open world part.
Yeah, you'll get the car.
No.
Yeah,
Here's our
that's the car!
Sephiroth. Here's our Sephiroth figure.
Hey, Bob.
What's
Hey,
up?
Bob.
Dude, you don't
I don't
think
give a
the
shit
car-
about a Sephiroth figure. I give way more of a shit about Cloud on a fucking motorcycle. Anyway, Bob,
What
Bob,
if
check
Cloud
this
gets his
out.
own? What if Sephiroth gets his own motorcycle?
Check this out, Bob. You ready? I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. Here's why there's only one part to the Final Fantasy VII remake. Ready? Because they could figure out how to string together countless cutscenes and action set pieces in Midgar, but the thought of doing that with the entire fucking rest of the game has them shitting their pants.
Yeah, I'm like, this is insane. There's so much that's outside of Midgar in this video game. Midgar's almost nothing compared to the rest of it.
Midgar is, I would say, it is an eighth of the game.
Right, which is why you being the person who said they would cut nothing, and you being the person just now who said it's an eighth of the game, you have implied that you expect 7 more parts.
I'm professional.
I don't think they're. I just think they'll. It's hard because they're going to expand it. They're effectively expanding it, like at least
So
double.
he's expecting 15 more parts. Sorry, I
No.
didn't quite work
I'm
out.
saying they're taking this big, really iconic part that everyone knows and making it bigger. If they're not adding in, like, if you buy the Super Deluxe Big Dick Edition, you get a Chocobo chick. You don't do shit with Chocobos till after Midgar, so that means that will be in Midgar now. There will be Chocobo shit inside Midgar.
Well, that's just a summon, though, isn't it?
Nope, it's separate from the summons.
Huh.
Oh, I thought it was listed as a summon.
It was
Was it
yeah, it was
listed as
listed
a
as a Chocobo Chick
Oh.
summon materia.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
So it's gonna
we
be
won't get
18
Chocobos
parts,
in part 1.
Each $60.
I'm crying.
Is Saz gonna be in this game? Can we work
I
him
think
in?
that this part is big and expanded. The others won't be, so the rest can be 2 games.
Please, we're
The
in
question
2019.
here-
The phrase is Dynamaxed.
The question here is how
Dynamax
are they going to remind everyone that the fact that, you know, most likely that Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X are in the same universe?
Excuse me, what?
There's some dumb comment.
They're not.
They are.
No.
No one
They
told me
are.
Cloud
It
played
was-
Blitzball.
It was a fucking in joke because they have the same themes.
They are.
We can move on.
This didn't come up in the conference. You know what did? A Final Fantasy VIII remaster, and I could not be happier. I'm glad that
It
we
is-
can finally stop punching these poor children who enjoy Final Fantasy VIII and let them
And we
get
gotta-
a game too.
We got a big present. This is super upgraded. Like, it's ultra
Yes.
big dick version of Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes,
They
it's
took
like
the penis and made it into the big penis.
I think that this had to
Probably-
do with them losing all the files.
Probably because they had to remake it. Correct.
Yes, those are new models. I can see Squall's face and make out what eyes are.
Zero Enchiladas with, yo, Dan, why did you skip over 50 games? It's called priorities. I
It's
skipped to the
called
thing
Do the Final
I
Fantasy
care
games
about.
now.
We did the two good things.
There's a
Well,
lot of good stuff. I'll
I
fight
think
you, Bob.
I think Final Fantasy VIII, I'm very hyped for it. Xeon's also very hyped for it. Bob said no one cares.
Look, I know people care, but it's funny to really lead into it.
I was like, man, I'm really excited about this Final Fantasy VIII remaster. And Xeon was like, yeah, I'm excited too. And Bob walked up and he's like, it's nothing. It is nothing but nothing. You people enjoy garbage. It is nothing. And he walked away and he slapped my drink out of my hand because he's really mean.
You don't understand. You see, Bob watched the Spoony One's multi-part review of Final Fantasy VIII, in which he just made a bunch of gay jokes.
Oh my god.
Speaking of which, real quick, I never actually watched any of his Final Fantasy VIII stuff, and it has been forever since I saw his Ultima stuff. I watched a video beginning of this year that was talking about the whole arc of Spoony, and when they played clips from that where, no shit, most of his material in that is gay jokes. I was just floored. I was like, man, these motherfuckers have the lowest bar in human history for fucking humor. It is sad. Anyway.
You mean you don't want to see the part where he comes in a dress?
Spoony? This is his idea of a joke?
Yeah.
Like-
He's wearing a costume. It's funny.
He wore a costume of Yuna from Final Fantasy X too. I will provide it to you later.
The only time I ever once thought of doing cross-dressing as a joke in a review was when we were going to do a Portrait of Ruin review, so that way Aggro and I could walk around retail stores screaming Jonathan and Charlotte at each other. But
Okay, one.
Glad you didn't do that.
That's a good idea. The logic.
I'm not in the dress, just so we're clear.
Oh no. You see, the logic in Spoony's thing was he was like 3 Final Fantasy reviews in by that point, and he always dressed as the character. So naturally, when he reached 10-2, he'd have to do that.
This is incredibly dumb, and we need to move
Yes,
on. So Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Oh, we're just jumping all over the place.
Yeah, we're hitting the Final Fantasies.
Sure.
Let's finish out the Final Fantasy.
Brave Exvius. But the cool thing wasn't that. It was related to Brave Exvius, but it was called Warriors of Visions?
War of the Visions.
War of the Visions.
I've played Brave Exvius. It's a mobile gacha game with its own like story. You collect Final Fantasy characters and do turn-based combat. This is a spin-off
This
of that.
seems a little bit more like a real video game, but it's still on smartphone, so it's not actually going to be a real video.
But it has all that Final
Has
Fantasy
really good
Tactics
design.
energy.
It does have a strong tactics energy.
It's cool. They have a bunch of different
It's
countries.
It's funny too because when the country flags popped up, Aggro was like, "I only see one lion, thus it could not be a war of the lions."
Right.
And I was like, "Ah, man, that's a disappointment." And then they showed gameplay and it was tactics, and we were like, "Oh fuck, complete reversal."
I'm sure that you have to gotcha roll for your units or something fucking terrible.
Yeah, that'll be there. The mobile game.
Probably, but you know that's a lot better than sitting there and you buy Kingdom Hearts 3 at launch. It's $60, and then they come out with a DLC. They didn't even finish the game. The game's only 14 hours long. They didn't even finish it.
I waited 37 years for this.
I waited
had 3 kids and they all
307
died.
lives for this game. Is there anything else Final Fantasy?
There's Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's got a winter release date now.
Chimijuru and Vox will enjoy this. They said crystals protecting us from miasma, and my brain had like a seizure as I went, they don't own Legend of Legaia.
Nobody played that, Dan, except me and you.
And Xeon, and now Vox, and I believe as well Chimichururu. So it's a very sophisticated group, and Xeon.
Maybe I'll play.
Just
Let's
kidding,
get to
Xeon.
the double digits.
Final
You
Fantasy
probably
14,
think it's
more
raw,
info.
KZ. You put in directions and your characters do fighting game moves as their attacks.
Yeah, they have combos and shit. But Bob, you're telling me
So
we got
blitz?
Final Fantasy 14 DLC?
Yes.
What is this expansion called?
I don't remember. It's
Shadowbringers fucking shit.
This is
They bring the shadows.
They
You
started
become
chanting this man's name.
Yeah,
as
it
he
was
came
fucking
out.
People-
it was fucking like WrestleMania.
By the way, I think just today they were like, yeah, Final Fantasy 14 has more subscribers than any other time in its history, which is weird for a game that's like 6 years in.
Actually, the funniest shit was what they said at first is like Final Fantasy 14 is the biggest game it's ever been. Like they almost said it was the biggest MMO, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh shit, fuck.
I mean, it might be. World of Warcraft ain't doing so hot lately.
But it still isn't the largest ever because it would have to compete with WoW at its peak.
right.
Right.
Okay, yeah, not ever.
Yeah.
Give it another 5 years, maybe.
So, Warrior of Shadow. Very Kino.
This
Yeah.
this expansion looks raw.
The audio mix was so bad I couldn't hear them talk.
They're like, hey, it turns out those people aren't gods.
I was just looking at the
They're really old
sick monster
primals.
designs.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's apparently a real big deal. I haven't gotten far enough
Yeah.
in the story to know.
I don't even fucking play that game, and I'm like, that's a big deal. Too bad you whispered it.
Right.
Yeah,
Titans.
there are some big deals by the end there that I
Yeah.
was like, wow, they're really going in.
This
I'm
world really-
I'm excited for that. I want to catch
That's
up.
That's a really good villain design. The big fat guy. He's like very evil looking.
Doughy.
Somebody here referenced Jabba the Hutt.
Also, the fact that the monsters that look super fucked up, the light monsters
Mhm.
that have really good designs. I look at those and I'm like, yeah, no shit. This is going to have a near raid that is canon to near.
You heard about
Oh, that's
that,
not
right?
out yet? I thought that came out already.
Yeah, that'll be
I
a
don't think
part of this.
Okay,
Where
cool.
they will put out like 3 big waves of that raid every few months.
Do you
Yes,
get
Yeah,
this?
the one they
What was that
the
for?
one they do here is just where it's like you go to the country of Final Fantasy Tactics and meet Ram's descendant, who's an asshole.
Bob, do you have any other questions about that?
I was gonna ask if you had the 2B outfit.
Maybe.
You probably will.
Okay.
You can get Noctis's hair.
Important feature.
I
You can get
have
you can get
subscribed.
Squall's tight leather pants. I have them on my account.
If you subscribe long enough, they have legacy rewards. So they just give you Final Fantasy outfits. Like I think I got Furions recently from 2.
Well, Bob, looks like we're gonna have to get the Gigaboots Patreon up to $4,000 a month, so you and I could play Final Fantasy 14 full time as a job.
$4,000 a month. Add it. Add it even if it's a joke. You might get a bump.
I don't know. I feel like people would be like, "This button to pixel thing's really important." Wait, what's this? What's this stretch goal here?
Ooh woo.
Well, look, Spoonie had a stretch goal on his Patreon that was basically, I will no longer produce content. And he hit it.
The thing is, he doesn't have to stop producing content to work on a movie. The problem is he just has to work on shit, and that seems to be his real fucking problem.
Okay, there's enough Spoonie in this podcast already, guys.
Yeah, that's. What else happened in this conference?
Yes, we're done with Final Fantasy.
You know what, KZ? Do you want to take back over?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was also shown. That's coming out
It's on
When-
the Switch.
on the Switch,
And
smartphones,
PS4.
and major. Yeah, PS4, Xbox One, I believe.
I don't think they said Xbox.
Yeah,
One.
no
I think
Xbox was announced weirdly.
I was assuming because they put all those other ones on Xbox,
Is
so
the-
they were just,
Is the idea that you would play the game on PS4 or Switch with your smartphone, or is the smartphone version
I think it's just you could
it's its own?
cross. Yeah, it's
you
its own
play
version,
online.
and you can play online. You can do
Play
crossplay.
online.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't need like a second screen because you're just playing on your own screen, so you can pull up your menu and it doesn't affect the other people.
Yeah, it's just I want an easier way to like get a second screen experience than buying it on iPhone and connecting to someone on a console.
Look, just
There's
don't
a way
you
to
worry
finally
about it.
play Crystal Chronicles with friends, and that's something.
We've had 6 Game Boy, GameCube adapters lying around this whole time, and a copy of Crystal Chronicles, and enough Game Boy Advances. The problem is literally too many people want to be involved with that content, and we have yet to vote someone off the island.
I'm shocked. Let me blow through some of the ones that are smaller news or things that I don't believe we'll have a bunch to say about. Number 1, Life is Strange 2 is out, but they showed it anyway because streamers played it, and that'll get you interested in buying it because I don't know.
Please stop showing me streamers like gushing about it on their streams. It feels very fake, even if those were live impressions.
Yeah, it was so
Guys, I
bad.
tried to export the trailer, but it said add influencers, and I couldn't export the video until I shove in reaction videos.
They went from the highest point of this conference, Final Fantasy VII, straight to the lowest.
Yeah.
Like that was
No,
just,
it wasn't the lowest. It was close, but there was a lower thing.
All right,
don't-
so I think it was fine because I was so blown away by the FF7 stuff. I blacked out, and there was like only 20 seconds left in that Life is Strange thing by the time I was recovered.
It was basically a flashbang went off in Call of Duty. He heard ringing for a minute. He's like, "Where am I?"
Yeah, it was just sound effects. It was very good. Last Remnant remastered is coming to Switch.
for some reason. I think to get people in the Last Remnant mood, somebody needs to donate like over $10.
That's not Last Remnant.
It's not. It has
But
the
it
energy.
has a very similar
It has a
energy.
very Last
We
Remnant
actually made
energy.
a very special sound effect and GIF that goes off if people donate $10, and no one's done it. So
No
that's
one's done
just
it.
funny as shit.
right.
That's a bit that you've been waiting 3 hours to actually happen, but no, not yet. In addition, Octopath Traveler is on PC, so they shouted that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I hear that
Okay,
version
this one,
supports 4K.
Well,
Wow.
I saw footage of that at 60 frames a second, and it spooked me because I played a lot of that game on Switch.
And it definitely was not 60.
It looks smooth. This is so strange.
Like seeing the hit sparks like move so smoothly like that, I was like, oh,
What's this feeling?
sorcery. Another game that I don't imagine people are too interested in, but so let's talk about it now. Outriders.
I thought
Why did
Outriders
they
looked
give
really
this
cool.
so much time?
I thought Outriders
They were-
looked really cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
They were-
we were like, oh, cool, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people can fly, can make good shooters. Them
Yeah.
trying to make a 3-player co-op shooter could be cool. Got a
Literally
neat art
every
style.
shooter they felt great. Gears of War was their least great feeling shooter, and that's because it had to feel like the other Gears games.
Right.
There wasn't enough like actual gameplay for me to get really engaged with what they were.
I
what
don't
they were
dislike
showing.
it on principle, but why did they have the guy come out and effectively say nothing and then go to the development team and then show another thing?
Oh, well, check this out. Let me. So the way this should have functioned for everyone from their perspective, and kind of mine, but not really because I'm more self-aware of the reception here. You should have been amazed that it was a Destiny-like drop-in, drop-out type of shooter thing that's team-based, that's being made by this great shooter company, and you would see the aesthetic in the trailer and get really excited about the setting and stuff because we don't have a Destiny game that takes place there. Then you would go to the studio and see that they have character models done and other stuff, and thus it's more complete than the game they shipped when they shipped Anthem. It's more of a game than Anthem at this point.
That's the bar we're at.
That is correct.
Dan, if you pick up a controller and press buttons watching this stream, that's more of a game than Anthem.
One moment.
Oh man,
I'm
would
going to
you-
check this. Shit, he's right.
you're getting a lot of use out of that PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, it's just sort of been chilling over
Oh.
here since we tried to get it to do remote
Not
play.
counting,
but
not
it said
counting
no.
limited run. The only time the Vita will be mentioned during E3 happened during this conference.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Saga.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
Saga
madness.
Frontier 3 is coming to the Vita. And Saga Scarlet something or other is
Scarlet
coming.
Grace.
Wait a second. Frontier 3's coming to the Vita.
Isn't
Bob,
it-
bust out the PBR.
Isn't it Romancing Saga 3?
Oh yeah, it is. Right.
No. Oh, Romancing Saga 3. Saga
Yeah,
Frontier is the
yeah.
PS1 one.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
we're
for
not
some
getting
reason,
that one.
for some reason, I never get the Saga Frontier games. It's always Romancing Saga.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
That's
saw
fine.
the one that wasn't 3D looked cool, and I was interested in it.
The one that wasn't
I'm
stream
fans.
far less
I'm
so.
always those games are really weird, and I'm always a fan of really weird, bizarrely ambitious games getting localized.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oninaki was shown again. That's the Tokyo RPG Factory action RPG.
Yeah,
It's where you play as the samurai.
It's the Green Reaper.
it's the least grim dark these have been so far, and that's the thing I dislike about that studio is how try-hard, like, Akami got kill it feels at every turn. Which just like,
Yeah, you still play as like a dude who's. Yeah.
you need to help me deliver this, and once we do, you can kill me. By the way, I have cancer and you have AIDS. And that's how like every fucking game they've turned out feels, where it's like,
Don't
how
you-
about,
aren't
how
you-
about you
aren't
chill
you a
the fuck
serious
out and have
gamer?
some joy? You know, Chrono Trigger
No.
isn't like this. You seem to have a boner for that.
Fucking I Am Setsuna. I got like 2 hours into that, got to the first chest that looks exactly like a black chest from Chrono Trigger, and I
Yep.
went, fuck you, and I turned the game off.
We gave that game like 6 hours total or something.
Yeah, we got way farther than we should have.
yeah,
and it's just
I
like-
got maybe 6 or 7 hours.
Every environment looks the fucking same. And its story
Yeah,
is just
I don't
bad.
think that was a good choice at all to go. It's gonna be all snow environments, and it's gonna be all piano music, and
Or
it's all
piano
blending
clips.
together in my
Yeah,
brain.
and something that I need to note because it never comes up and I need to they fucked up recording a piano so bad that the audio clips with every piano stroke. I have no idea how the fuck you do that outside of being Coldplay.
I think they're getting better with each game.
They
like
are.
Lost Sphere looked kind of okay. I didn't play it because I, was burned a little bit by I Am Setsuna, but this looks better than that.
It comes
So-
out August 22nd, so it's pretty soon.
But yeah,
I'm interested in giving it
is
a
that
shot.
the same week as Astral Chain?
I am no longer interested in giving it a
I
shot.
just gonna check this real quick. Are they that dumb?
But yeah, the game mechanically seems interesting, and I'm interested in that game. But please tell me it doesn't come out the same week as Astral Chain.
August 30th. We have 8 days.
It's a week
8 days.
early, so you have 8 days to play it and be disappointed.
Okay,
Nice.
that works.
we can do that.
That works because Astral Chain's gonna get shown tomorrow, presumably.
Presumably. Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. Oh,
Might only be shown a little bit because they kind of blew our ass out with it the first time they showed it.
Yeah, they
I
gotta
guess
show
they
off
could go more
Bayonetta
in
3
depth.
tomorrow.
Well, Bayonetta 3, and
It's real. We promise.
they're gonna show.
DMC 5 coming out didn't cancel the project somehow, even though it isn't that company.
Look,
Metroid Dread by Mercury's team. We're finally getting it.
yeah, they need to
Fuck
show
you.
off that. We need to show off Bayonetta 3, and we need to show off Banjo and Kazooie for Smash Brothers in the style of Minecraft.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it just so I can make banjo noises.
He just makes Minecraft noises. He makes generic creeper noises.
You know what? Jim Ratgazer actually would be really good at making the sound that your pickaxe and shit make when you hit
Oh my god! What?
Jim was really
let's
into
see, what
Minecraft
else?
back in the day.
Yeah. What else is in my head? Okay, there was a Dragon Quest block. The first one that's I guess less important because it's a game that's already out. Dragon Quest 11 S was
Mhm.
shown.
Yeah.
And this is including Dragon Quest 11 has reorchestrated music, so that makes
War
that the-
Prime Apologist has been sealed into the core of the earth, so the game can have an orchestral track again.
it is the definitive version based on that alone. On top of that, there's extra little scenarios for all the party members that flesh things out a bit more, and there's a visual mode that just changes the game into a 16-bit esque RPG.
Yeah, I think that was on the 3DS mode.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was support that we never got.
Yeah, it did, and that looks really, really good. Dragon Quest XI's fantastic. So it come to the Switches.
Please, please, you can release it as another $60 game if you want. Please put this on other platforms than Switch.
Right? Make it on
The
something we can
orchestral
run it.
music matters a lot.
Yet
Like, don't make me pick between the version that looks the best and the version that sounds the best. That's bullshit.
I feel like a upgrade thing, like an upgrade DLC would be in order, because World of Final Fantasy did the same thing when they released World
Yeah,
of
it
Final
did do
Fantasy
that.
Maxima
I hope to
on
God.
Switch and Xbox. The PS4 got an upgrade for that.
Yeah, maybe see a
But
few
11
months
looks-
of exclusivity and then come on over.
Yeah, I could see that too. Dragon Quest Builders 2 was shown. That's coming out July 12th. I'm incredibly excited for this game.
We're getting a demo at the end of the month.
I can't wait for the mysterious helper to be the villain, because of course he is. They dwell
Oh,
on him way too long, and he has Toriyama's
Red eyes?
"I'm secretly a villain" haircut.
What? He just
Very
looks like Super 17.
I was gonna go with Magus from Chrono Trigger. I was gonna go with a less hurtful comparison.
GT references don't interact. Builders 2 looks great. There's a lot of good upgrades to the base game in general, like so many different things that you can just ride. The multiplayer aspect that wasn't in the original, the map, and a bunch of different like extra blocks that I saw, in team attacks where you can
I got
do
pretty
team
hyped when he
combos.
like threw you into the air. Then the
Mhm.
hero came down with his hammer, but he jumped up to land on the back of the hammer. It was like he did a bro attack from Superstar Saga.
Yeah. That Muso game. Dragon Quest Builders 2 looks great. I put maybe 70 or 80 hours into the first one, just on its story mode stuff. Thought it was a great time, but that's not too far away. Looking through our list here, we've gone through all of that. The KH3 trailer got shown again, so we passed through that. Square Enix music is on music streaming services.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. It's not on Google Music though, which is the one I use. So fuck them.
They had like 20 things on there, and somehow it missed field.
Wow, that's an L.
They're not on MySpace Music, so fuck them.
Oh, that is quite unfortunate.
We haven't talked about Dying Light 2 yet.
Yeah.
talk about
Dying Light 2
2.
was shown.
I don't even know.
It somehow shown slightly less than it was at Microsoft's.
Yeah, it was just a bit of running around the city. Really, almost nothing.
They showed more last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
I'm sure it's going
Yeah.
great.
It looks like what I assume Dying Light looks like.
You are correct.
They did their weird indie game thing.
Yeah, they did the indie game sizzle reel, which is hilarious because they went through all the ones they released and skipped The Quiet Man, which was one of them.
Was the Quiet Man part of that program?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I like how annoyed he's like, yes, have doubt me, Bob.
Well, we saw
And-
Battle Battalion 19 over 44.
What is this? What the fuck is this game?
It's some weird Call of Duty knockoff.
Why was this
Why did it get
it
this
looks-
much
it looks
time?
like
I don't know.
Battlefield 1942 is real cool. That's why our name almost directly copies it.
Yeah.
I think that's everything except the other big thing that was during this conference.
Crummy Curmudgeon says, Quiet Man is the new bouncer in the degree of how hard Square wants to forget it. How about you contact me whenever the next Final Fantasy game features a protagonist that is blatantly the guy from The Quiet Man?
Now, The Quiet Man is really good. I googled it. It's not by the collective at all.
Okay.
Oh, damn, I was wrong.
I had Control F. There's none came up. There's only one game left, and it is the Marvel's The Avengers. which was shown. You're gonna be playing as all of the main Avengers except for Hawkeye, because I guess he wasn't cool enough to.
He didn't even make it into that first movie. He was hardly there.
Well, I'm sure he'll be added as DLC. They implied that there would be a lot of DLC characters, and
Yeah,
showed one
because
at the end.
they showed Hank Pym.
In fact, like at the end of that, they were kind of like, and Sony players will get special wink wink benefits, wink wink. You get Spider-Man, fuck Microsoft eventually, wink wink.
You see, I didn't even get that read. I just assumed it was exclusive missions, because this is going to be the new. Sony needs a thing to replace the Destiny exclusives.
Yeah, they said like you get exclusive missions and early access to the beta, and some other things will reveal in the near future, which says to me it's probably going to be Spider-Man.
So with this, I think the insane part is where they got a Marvel person out on stage, and the very slow process of just being like, the Hulk's gonna use his strength.
Who are these characters?
Black Widow's
You are
gonna
mighty.
use a lower camera angle, and it's gonna show her butt. Captain America's gonna use his freedom. And it's just like, fucking move on! Show me something! Shut the fuck up! Sit down! What are you doing? We're all dying! Shut up!
Like, they have something they have
So-
gameplay because they're letting people play it. Why aren't they putting any of it in this?
They're like, here's 12 seconds of a cutscene, and Iron Man comes up and he's like, we almost got it. And Captain America's like, no, we didn't. We failed. He's like, we didn't fail. It almost worked. And he's like,
that
I
was,
disagree with you.
That was Hulk.
I don't
That was
fucking-
Hulk, Captain
Dude,
America's.
how the fuck do you remember who it was? It was so
Okay,
fucking
okay.
mind-numbing. They
Okay,
stared
now-
at Rock Band style logos for each Avenger for minutes.
Okay.
Look, it was those
I
two.
only noticed because Captain America's straight up dead. Like, they ended the first thing with just going, he
Except-
died.
Except he isn't even really dead, because they just flat out say you'll get to play as Captain America, even though the start of our game is him dying.
It's gonna be okay.
So much
he
tension.
He allegedly died. Paraphrased. That and the guy he was talking to looked like discount Mark Ruffalo. So that was awesome.
They all kind of look like that. It's very
Yes.
like it. Spider-Man sort of did that, but not as weird as this.
It
I feel like there's
they
more of
took
a
the
difference in
skeleton,
Spider-Man.
Right,
like
like
they took the
Spider-Man got to
skeleton
have like a
of
really
the
cool,
actors.
unique suit, unique
Yes.
looking dude.
Yes.
He was in his 30s. They really went pretty different from what's movie
Yes,
Spider-Man
it's a very
is.
unique Spider-Man.
Thank you, Insomniac Games.
Thank you.
Then they made Norman Osborn Willem Dafoe again, as close as they could get without getting in legal trouble.
Yes, because that's important.
Square Enix, meanwhile, is like, we shall combine every human employee in the North America continent, and they will all work on this one game. Begin the instrumentality project. And they throw a switch, and all of their employees become Legion.
I understand why they did it, and I don't even blame them for it.
They're like,
Because all of those games were bad.
and you're gonna work on this game, and you're gonna work on this game, and literally, if you can understand the language I'm speaking right now, you're gonna work on this game. And
Because this is a game that's guaranteed to do well so long as they don't do anything wrong. Like,
I think
you
it's
know.
fucking hilarious that they also tried to make it an all-star cast of voice actors. Like, that was gonna work like it did for a movie. They're like,
Right.
we got Nolan North, we got Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, some guy.
Right.
That was the best part. I recognized all of them.
And some
Because they're
guy.
always in every AAA video game.
Laura Bailey, best known for her Faces teasers from yesterday's show.
What?
She's the Gears of War lady.
Oh, right.
Travis Willingham, he's known as the smart character from Kingdom Hearts back cover, who never did nothing
Ain't
wrong.
no motherfucker in that game smart.
Ain't nobody in that game is memorable.
Dan
That's
got
not
tricked into calling back cover a game. That's an L.
Yes, that's true. We all
Not
took it out.
true,
Oh,
Bob.
shit.
A set is Terra.
You know, I think we're cracking the code here, but
because when he walked up to that other person and went, "Are you scared of me?" That's how you. It's a very subtle hint.
So this game is. There's not going to be another E3 before this game is out, and I still don't know what it is because they didn't show me.
Mission based superhero game where you play as different ones and you presumably get
what-
gear.
What does that
Like
look like though?
right, like
That's
what does
kind
it
of
play
important.
like? Is I assume Iron Man's gonna fly around and be Iron Man.
Yeah,
I don't know though. Like we
that
didn't
seems to be what they're going for.
we don't get to actually see it, and that's the frustrating part.
Casey's like, what? You didn't see the game? I saw the game. Why is this NyQuil empty? Oh no, that was the game.
I mean,
that was
they
the
described what the game. They described what the game was, and I went, "Oh, okay."
You play as Big Dick and you smash, and everyone's
It's like, "Oh, you're gonna play as Hulk and you're gonna smash stuff, and he's just gonna have big jumps, and he's gonna smash."
I don't even know that they were advertising.
I need
Yeah,
to
I
see.
don't-
I,
I don't-
need to know how Destiny this is. Like, am I going to position Hulk in front of the big spider tank and do a rotation of his smash cooldowns?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I need to know if everything's actually just a third-person shooter, so even Iron Man walks on the ground and just does cover-based combat. Same
Yeah,
with
but
Hulk.
he does it really sassily.
Oh,
and
yes.
Nolan North reads off a few good lines. He's just like, how about that?
You think Nolan North is also going to play Deadpool when he gets in the game? I feel like he needs to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we need Steve
On the
Bloom to
bright
come up
side.
as Wolverine.
I mean, if this thing,
Wolverine.
if they keep adding characters, then this will be fine. But as it is right now, they're like, here are 6 Marvel characters. It's such a big game.
Please clap.
And I'm like, I really don't.
Maybe because they shut down that there was a Marvel PC game called
Marvel
I
Heroes.
yeah, maybe Marvel Heroes. I fucking forget, but it was like a Diablo style
Yeah, that's
game
the
that
one.
you ran through a Diablo style game with a team of heroes and you got like costume parts and stuff. Maybe if it's like that, but like bigger and more fun to play, like because they shut that game down, and maybe they shut it down because it was going to be so similar to this.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they shut it down at least because that's what happens when a company buys another company. They look at the shit they're running and, figure out whether or not they're going to keep doing that or shut it the fuck down.
Right.
Something that I think is neat is if they end up adding Spider-Man to this game is the fact that pretty sure that this is in the exact same video game universe as Marvel Spider-Man.
I
'Cause
mean,
when you go,
see, I don't think that's
because in the
guaranteed, but that's what everybody's going to think
Here.
regardless.
so when you play Marvel Spider-Man, you go up to the Avengers Tower. He comments on the fact that where are the Avengers? I guess they're on the West Coast, and they're on the West Coast at the time of this game, setting up the Avengers West Coast division.
Right,
Also,
they-
hot comic lore. They said that the reactor that went bad was a Terrigen reactor, which is tied to the Inhumans, those things that Microsoft tried to push for a couple of years before they got the X-Men back, and now you're never going to hear about them ever again.
you mean Marvel?
You just said Microsoft.
Oh, okay. It's late. I meant
Um,
Marvel. They're both M words.
I was gonna
I
say
can tell.
that they were pretty adamant about, hey, Insomniac going to make their own universe. These guys are making their own universe. But yeah, I would totally not be surprised they go back on that and mix them.
Yeah, I could see them trying just because the fact they're calling it Marvel's Spider-Man, Marvel's the Avengers. Like they're trying
So-
it.
Did anybody else get the weird vibe that like the reason we didn't see this sooner is because the story has like weird parallels to Endgame, and they didn't want people to notice?
No?
Because it's like 5 years have passed and everybody's depressed.
I don't think a time jump's enough for them to get concerned about it. I think this game just really isn't done. I'm shocked that there's gameplay demos at E3. I imagine it's a very constrained scope
We'll know
for a
tomorrow,
demo.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I imagine it's a very
Well, they got to get
constrained
it out. They
scope.
only have 11 months to finish it.
I know, isn't that fucking scary?
Yeah, this is like Anthem.
This is like Square Enix's first Ubisoft game. We have 1,000 employees working on it. It'll exist in the next 11 months.
You know what's crazy about how it's a much shorter timetable than I personally would think for this, but I feel like they'll have more time to work on it than BioWare had for Anthem. Like for their final version of Anthem, when they finally made this is the one we're gonna do. We have 6 months or whatever it was.
Do you think
was-
go ahead.
It was 18 months, KZ. Be nice. They had all the time from after they showed the gameplay demo in E3 2017 till the day it came out.
Wow, it's a long time.
Bob, do you think
Ideally, I
Captain
would
Marvel
like this
shows
Avengers game.
You were saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, ideally, I would like this because I like Destiny-like games, and I like most of these heroes. I would definitely want to play as like Iron Man and Thor. So I'm really hoping that they nail a decent gameplay loop that makes my brain happy whenever I pick up a new piece of gear.
You get gold pants for Hulk.
Oh my god!
Do you
What if
think
there's like a skull on the butt?
Do you think Captain Marvel shows up in the first 5 minutes of this and then fucks off until the ending when they need to have a girl power moment?
No.
I
Please,
am
no.
so sorry that I've stopped you from being able to make such a wonderful statement.
I think that's her role in the universe now. I think I don't know
I assume.
What, to be a really engaging character?
who is absolutely interwoven with the narrative fabric of the content seamlessly. Yes.
And they definitely didn't make most of Endgame before her movie was even written.
No way.
I
No
mean,
way.
Yeah,
No.
they that was her first thing she shot. They didn't even shoot that movie.
God.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, they're like her first experience acting in that universe was the Avengers, and not her origin movie that I didn't see.
They did specifically say that they're not going to charge for any of this shit after launch, so I'm wondering,
Yep,
like, if this is going to be their platform game, how the hell is it monetized?
cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, we'll have the Eris Morn shop or whatever her name is from from Destiny. I know that's not the right character.
Whatever.
Wait, no, yeah.
You remembered a name of a character in Destiny. I applaud you.
Thank you.
You remember because she came back recently for this upcoming thing.
Yeah, it's her and Shax. They're the only ones.
Bob remembered her, and that's impressive because it's not Cade 6 or Sax.
I tried to forget
Cade
Cade
Six.
6.
I try to forget Cade 6 a lot.
Cade 6 is really
Activision-
funny, and he's the best part of Destiny.
You would think that. Activision made it a lot easier for me to forget Cade 6, and for that, I tipped my hat to them. Thank you very
That's
much.
kinda
Isn't
rude,
Cade
Dan.
Six like Bungie wrote lore and story, and then Activision was like, take it out and put in a funny robot.
Cade 6 is like, yeah, I like Firefly.
Well, Cade 6 was, they made Destiny, and then they ripped
then
out
added
all that
Clash.
story, and then it was falling apart, and then Cade 6 was the only, like, one of the few interesting things when they started bringing back Destiny. And then they're like, people like this. Put them everywhere in 2.
Just ram him in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, like you could see just how they just artificially went, you're just gonna be everywhere in this main campaign for this next game because people really like Taken King.
People assume I don't know ODST is the entire cast of Firefly. I don't know why people assume
Yeah,
things when I say one thing.
Right, I'm like, no, we're Halo fans.
ODST is probably
Bungie
cool.
knew Nathan Fillion before then. Oh my fucking god! Hey Bob, anything else from that conference?
No, that's
anything
all
else
of it.
from anything? Rate that fucking conference.
Oh man, this is rough. It's hard. It's the best one we've seen so far, but that's not saying a whole lot.
I give the games an F because Cloud fucking sucks. Air horns.
Give
Like-
him a seat for Cloud.
Like Final Fantasy VII, real good.
Yeah, we talked
That-
about
that's-
Saga. That was a bit ago. Sorry, go ahead.
That was about it. That for stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is just okay, but 7's so good, I'm gonna give it a B for games.
I mean,
Like,
I can't hate on you for that.
the presentation. The only part that I found really just cringy is the Life is Strange stuff. So I'll give it a B on that too.
Okay. Someone else go.
All right. So, in terms of games, I'm gonna give
Dragon Quest Builders.
I'm gonna give this an
Sure.
A- because FF7 remake looks incredible. I am really, really excited for Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Mhm.
Dragon Quest 11S looks interesting. Shadowbringers, I'm even more into that now after seeing the launch trailer they put out. Oninaki has my attention, and I want Avengers to be good. I want another one of those types of games, so I'm definitely getting that. Also, Final Fantasy VIII. I have never played that, and now it's on a current console, and it looks a little bit better. And it'll have that speed up button. They confirm speed up button, turn off encounters button. I'll play it.
Which is good in Final Fantasy VIII because encounters hurt you because everything scales.
Okay, cool.
And the visual upgrade means you won't get that meme where Renoa says you're the best looking guy at the party, and then they just zoom in on on Squall's horrible monster face.
When someone drew what that should look like based on it, it is the best shit ever.
It really is. That was the funniest fucking shit.
In terms of presentation, I really, really enjoyed this, mostly because it felt like it was longer by the end, but it was only like an hour and 20 minutes. There was a lot of games that I enjoyed through it. I feel like I'd say the lowest point, I guess, is people seeing Avengers and them taking a while on that, but I was just so into that game and excited about it that it didn't really feel as bad as it could. So I'm giving it an A-, because I gave Microsoft like a B something.
Feel?
Is that me?
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, that's feel.
Okay,
didn't
I'm
confirm.
gonna give this an A- for games because I'm going to buy most of these, and I can't say that about any other conference. I'm going to buy Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm gonna buy both those Saga re-releases.
You're paying
Buy Crystal
$300 for
Chronicles.
Final Fantasy VII.
Maybe if I can stab myself in the leg enough to convince
It's happening.
myself. I'm gonna buy Dragon Quest Builders and probably Dragon Quest 11 on Switch, and I'm gonna buy Shadowbringers and Final Fantasy VIII again. So it gets an 8. And as for presentation, this one moved the fastest of any of the conferences, except for the weird crowdfunding part. So it gets an A there too, double A-.
Okay. I'm gonna start with the games. I'm giving it a B. I think down.
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
What? Hold on.
Oh, okay, we're back.
Hey, how you doing?
We
Great.
were so close.
Come on. We're at the end.
Oninaki.
I was writing in pitch black darkness.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm not mocking it. I just literally, I was like, I can't remember, and this isn't helping. Oninaki, I'm super curious about that. I really do want to see it. So that's on my to-do list. I'm never gonna play Final Fantasy 14 because it's an MMO. Dragon Quest 11 on Switch is nice, but I'm good. Like I want to play it on a console.
It's really long. I don't blame you.
I mean, I just don't want to. I don't want to play that on the Switch. Like, I want to play it on a console. If I'm
Right.
gonna, like I don't want to play Dragon Quest 11 like this. But the 16-bit mode's really neat.
That might help it, yeah.
I'm really glad they did that. Yeah, Crystal Chronicles. I'm still not sure about that re-release. May end up doing the original. I don't know. It depends. And there was one more.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII. Very excited that they did the remaster on that. Incredibly important.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it.
Yeah, no,
The
I'm
missing
absolutely
link.
buying that. I'm absolutely buying that, and I do think it's really important that they did that, and I'm really glad that they did that because I wanted to buy it and I wanted to play it. So I'll get around to that after I beat Final Fantasy VII for the first time later this year. For
It's
presentation,
gonna be a raw stream, one big stream.
for the presentation, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B-. The Life is Strange thing sucked. The the whole indie dev initiative sucked, and Avengers was somehow worse than those two parts. Like
I think they
part,
dwelled on that not Call of Duty thing for a while.
That was so fucking weird.
That was a while, and like at that point in the conference, I was like, man, this is the worst. The Avengers thing was a billion times worse. You're listening to two people from like, here's a guy from Eidos Montreal and a guy from Marvel on stage talking for minutes.
How cool is Marvel?
And the Hulk, am I right? And then people clap and they lose their fucking minds.
Yeah,
so
like,
I have to stand at like a fucking rock band logo for the 5 Avengers for minutes. And then I get
They're
a 12
good logos.
I get a 12-second cutscene that's like, we feel nuh-uh. And then the cutscene ends, and then they go back to talking for minutes. And
What
I'm like,
are the voice actors?
I'm losing my fucking mind. Then they cut to the voice actors. Those poor voice actors, they're like, tell us, what do you think about Tony Stark? And Nolan North's just like, it's 2019. What do you think I'm going to fucking tell you about Tony Stark? He's Tony fucking Stark. He's like, what do you think I have some insight from voicing it for a video game? Hey
Travis
guys,
Willingham had the best one where he's like,
did you know he puts up fake walls?
I liked Thor recently. Thor's pretty good recently. That's what I like.
Yeah, and it's brutal, and they didn't show enough like unedited gameplay. They didn't show any unedited gameplay.
Right.
They showed very micro slice moments, a very like almost quick time event. Like, okay, fly to this thing. Good job, Iron Man. You're now on the bridge. Okay, Hulk, get across this hole. Good job. You're over there. This doesn't give me a good idea of what the core gameplay loop is, and so this game's coming out in 11 months. When your cutscene is 12 seconds and your other cutscene is like 15 seconds, that's kind of like the Hank Pym thing.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of which weird mini cutscenes.
Super short cutscenes. It's like, what are you doing? So, like, that's why I'm giving it a B-. Because the Final Fantasy VII shit was real hype, and then Life is Strange 2 was a nightmare, and then things were fine, and then the Indie Initiative was like, here are some games we put out over the last 5 years. And I'm like, what?
Here's some people who like cars, so they're making bad rock and roll
Forgot about
racing.
the car
Yeah.
bit.
Instead, you know what? That wouldn't even have been as bad if I wasn't reminded of what they did with what's that, Fear Factor.
Oh yeah, Fear Factor. You have to pull it out of the grave for a
Remember
second.
when we did Fear Factor Sedna? You shouldn't remind me of that of your own free will.
Nobody should think about Fear Factor Sedna ever. In fact, nobody should think about Fear Factor ever.
I'm shocked you remembered long enough to bring it up here.
We should watch Fear Factor at some point.
Nope.
What was
Oh, Fear Effect. It's not
Fear
even Fear
Effect,
Factor.
thank
it's
you.
Fear Effect.
Yeah,
There we go.
I haven't played the games, but even I'm just like, why did they do what they did with that?
Because it was a name people knew, and they didn't know that the only reason anybody cared about Fear Effect was anime titties.
Yeah, I know. I fucking know. It was a rhetorical. I fucking know that businesses are the most cynical assholes ever, and somehow, in some way, they think that worked out for them instead of just making a good game. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm still
Take
kind
it.
of sad that we didn't get the Platinum Games game that
Yeah.
they announced last year. I was really hoping
must
to
just
see
not-
anything.
It must just not be ready.
Yeah.
They're making 87 games right now,
They-
so their
I guess
normal
there's
quick development cycle must be a little bit slower.
there's still Tokyo Game Show. It's possible to see something this year for it.
But I guess we're gonna end this here. Does anyone have any closing comments before we shut this down and see these nice people again tomorrow for Nintendo?
I forgot to do this for Tifa.
Respectable. Respectable.
Jesus.
God.
Respectable.
Is that your final thought?
Yes.
And it was a very
Dan
salient
has to
one.
build the laser with the diamond and saw me in half like Congo.
Oh no.
Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Oh, bye.